Let me know when my mic's hot. Okay, hockey fans, here we are. Chris Blair with Daniel Wilson. Daniel, it's Chicago Week 3. Are we excited for this one?
Absolutely. I still remember from last year when we had the Scott Horgan goal from 3 defenders. That was a highlight of that season and one of the top plays. But now things get different. What was also from last year is that we had an outdoor rink. We are now in Salt Creek, which is an indoor rink. Now, the players are familiar with this rink. They do play this quite often, so this is familiar territory for them. So this will give us a chance to see how they do on an indoor setting.
Right. Before we get to the action, we are here. Breaking news. We just got word. Eddie Urban has officially been named to the U.S. men's national team. He's going to be competing at Worlds later this summer. Huge congratulations to Eddie Urban. That's awesome, awesome news. He plays for the Southsiders, and we are very excited and proud to be able to tell you that, yeah, this is it. Eddie Urban, U.S. men's national team. Congratulations to him. Now, this begins a doubleheader weekend for the NBHL on MVP TV. So if you're checking us out today, don't forget we're going to be in New England tomorrow as well. Right now, this is the first of 3 games. Chicago is a growing ball hockey scene. It's a growing division. We've got 2 new teams. They went up from 4 to 6. So we've got the Union and the Stingrays, and we're going to get to see both of them in action. Right now, we're starting things off with the Belmont Heights Kings and the Palatine Union. Both of these teams started off their season last week going 0-1, but the Kings, they lost to the Southsiders 2-1. You mentioned before the Union, they did get mercied against the Raiders, and those are the 2 top teams in this division. So one of these teams is going to pick up their first win. You've got the Kings on your left and the Union on the right, and we are excited to get things going for you. Of course, this game officiated by referees Michael Sabatini and Chris Stompanato.
Have a good game, boys.
And we are ready to get going here. 10 minutes up on the clock. First period underway. All right, draw 1 by the Kings.
Good.
And they get this one deep quickly. That one handled by goaltender Bobby Dickinson behind the net. As the first 10 seconds go by and they get it clear out, it'll go all the way back down for icing. So we'll have an offensive zone draw for the Kings.
The Kings have the statistical advantage. They did have a rough season last year, but they did come away with a 2-1 loss to the Southsiders, which really is not a bad one considering the amount of skill between the 2 teams.
We've heard from director Frank Klein, who's also a big-time Masters player, for the Raiders, that he did expect last year that the Raiders and Southsiders would kind of lead the way, but hoped that as the sport developed in the area. Oh, and a big shot to save by Pietro, they score! Never mind, we'll talk about Frank Klein later. The Union get this one going right away.
You got 3 from 12. Yep.
Dan Lauer will become the first player to score a goal for the Union, and going down on his knees and just right behind Rocco Giampietro, and there's just no way with him all alone right in front of the net. So Union finally get their first goal.
Love to see the tenacity from Lauer on that play. That just kind of came out of nowhere. Dug away at it, had 2 or 3 solid opportunities before finally getting it behind Giampietro. The Kings try to answer back with this quick shot, and they chase that one down into the corner. Collected behind the net, try to turn and go. Risick rolls that one up the wall, and a big shot from the point. Fought off by Dickinson. That one just healed. A good blast by Dudek from the point. Sending that one back in deep. Union first one is on it. They lead early here, 1-0.
Woo!
Walk that one into the center. Oh, takes a shot. Dickinson save. Now down behind the net. Resick has it on the backhand. Comes all the way up the wall, but stays in. Another shot through 50. He scores! Kings answer back, and we're tied.
This may be one of those days where it is going to be a scoring frenzy. The question is, was it tipped? Look in front of the net.
98
Sets up
from
the
9.
screen. I don't think so. I think that got through clean.
Yeah, the official call is Wachal from Resick,
I got
but wow, not even 2 minutes in, we've already got 2 goals up on the boards.
Yeah.
We'll see if this is, like you said, teams trading punches.
Good.
Kings bust in again. O'Brien lost it. They keep it in. Get that one back in deep. Behind the net, Kings still have it. Trying to cycle, gets that one up high, takes another shot. Dickinson glove that one down and hangs on. Kings players were crashing the net.
Yeah, I believe that goal went to
Right here, guys.
Washall.
Right here, guys.
We're going to double check, make sure that's correct. But the Kings with a quick strike. Yeah, the Kings looking to rebound after a really tough season last year, and this is a good way to get going.
Another one fired on net, fought off by Dickinson. Union attempt to gain the zone, but it comes back the other way.
Nice, someone, nice.
Kings trying to show their speed in transition. Chase this one down. It's being defended by Nickpun. Turnover. Possible chance for a 2-on-1, and oh! That one's going to get called for a hand pass. And it's going to come up and outside the zone.
Right here, Sable.
With
What?
two teams
He hit with a high stick.
trading quick goals in
The
just
high
the
stick,
first
it's
2
outside
minutes
the
of the
zone.
game.
No. If you
So
high
now-
stick the guy,
What does
you
it?
just hit the ball out of the air. It's not a penalty.
Or we're just listening to the ref. Yeah, they said that there may have been a
No,
high stick
not if-
somewhere, but it's just going to come
You
back
hit
to neutral.
somebody with
But
a
I was
high
always
stick,
about to
it's a
say,
penalty. You hit the ball or you wave at the ball. It's just a
the teams are
whistle.
going to have to quickly make some adjustments with such offense coming their way. So keep an eye on the defense and make some shifts.
Definitely. Morocco won the draw for his team, but it's forced into their zone, and they have to defend.
I got it.
The Kings try to get this one out, and they do. Walking this one
Good.
along the red line, and now gains the zone. Dishes it back. Collected and settled. Big shot from way outside. Doesn't find its way to Dickinson. Union players try to work this one out. And is this one... doesn't look like it's going to go for icing, so it's man-on-man chase. Way to get that one is J-Down. Didn't get to it in time.
Good.
Kings managed to work it back out. Got one man to beat, and he does!
Good goal.
And he scores! Oh, what a move! Individual effort, works around the defender and gets that one in past Dickinson.
I thought Dickinson had covered that one up. Where did that go? Starts with the
I
dig in
thought
the
so,
high
too.
slot, and then where does that ball go?
Was that from Ganutek?
It somehow
so, yes.
sneaks into the right corner. How did that find a
Wow,
hole?
yeah. Dickinson was swimming, waved at it with his
96
paddle,
from
and I
17.
thought he had it too. That one is going to count, and it's 2-1. Already seeing 3 goals here. We're not even 4 minutes down. So, yeah, Daniel, it sounds like this is going to be a scoring frenzy, at least so far. The
Out.
first few minutes have
No.
been any indication. No icing on this one, so it's going to be chased back. 6.5 to go here. First period, 2-1. Belmont Heights up. Chance in the slot there, waved at. Didn't connect.
Good.
Kings come back in on the attack. They gain the zone clean. Possible chance for a 2-on-1
Oh.
down low. And a great opportunity. How did that stay out? Even the officials sounded
Right
a little
here.
surprised by that. That one ends up in the bench and out of play.
Yeah, this is going to be
Heads
one
up,
of
heads
those days. That goal got credited to Robbie Molinelli, so that'd be his first
Stevie,
of the
this is
season.
not the ball.
But after the Union got that mercy rule loss to the Raiders, yeah, they're looking to try to shut things down. So that's 10 goals
Okay.
they've let go so far this season. So let's see how they adjust.
Yeah, in 3.5 periods, no less. And you know, we knew it's a new team. They're trying to find their feet and see what they can do. They got the first goal. They seem pretty jazzed about it, but now they're pushed back on their heels and forced to defend. Little give and go one-timer opportunity. Generating more offense for the Kings. Parisi has it there, sweeps it out, but doesn't get it clear. Just aside by Lazzaroni. And another shot from outside that misses. Swung at by Dickinson. Union players have it on their far side, just along the half wall, but they can't get it out. These long shifts are always dangerous. There's another shot. Now on the backhand, tried to send forward, but off of some feet. Comes up, but still can't get it out. They can't get that clear. 5:10 left to go in the first period. Kings up 2-1 and smelling blood, but that one comes all the way out, but it's an icing, and the Union players are still stuck out there.
Right here.
Yeah, they've been stuck in their zone ever since that first goal was scored. Right now, the Union has got to focus on the transition game. They got to get possession of that ball and just try to get something started. If we know that they can make it to the net, but the first things first, they got to get out of their own zone.
Muller wins the draw, gets it back to his point. Quick shot bangs off the end boards. Shuffling, looking for the jam opportunity. Between the legs, gets that one in front, second chance! Oh, and that one stays out. Lean has it. Sends that one up to the point, loads up, big shot. Doesn't get through feet, gotta try to hold the zone, and that one does creep out, so his team will have to come back and clear. Gudick sends that one across D to D.
That's good.
That one ended up in feet and gets swung back into their own end, and the Union players are allowed to change. They get out of that tough shift. 4.5 left in the first period. But here comes another chance. Diving, great defensive play, keeps that one out. Back for Nuck.
That's good now.
Takes a look and sends it in deep. Players rushing it after it on the forecheck. That one's Lean. He can't get to it. That one just rolling on the backhand, left behind. Good play by O'Brien. Held to the line by Nuck. Across and covered Dickinson. But the storm just keeps coming here as the Kings raining down on the Union.
Well, the Kings have been looking to crash the net. They've been taking shots up close. And that's something that the Union have got to start doing. They got to protect their goalie.
Morocco wins that one back to the point and takes another shot. By Duddick. At the point. Sends that one down into the corner. No look backhander. Tries to get that one into the middle almost. That one is cleared. Nuck has to get back to it. He's got one man coming after him.
Good.
Walks in. Molinelli. To the point. Big shot. Watch out for the bounce on the rebound. Just continues to be the Kings dominating, really controlling possession here.
Good.
Really woke up after that first goal. Now there's another move. Got a little far. Came around again.
Good.
And they come back in. Tries to make a move. And they're just getting a little fancy with it. If they simplify their game, they'd probably see even more offense right now.
Good.
But here they come in again. 3-on-2. And lost it in another.
Out. It's out.
Player gets shoved. No call on that one. We continue. Lauer plays that back to his defense. Union trying to settle things down and get some possession. That one up for Lauer, but he can't control it. Lost by Nickpun as well. Coming back into the zone. Tenacious forecheck trying to cause the turnover.
Still good.
Berniglius brims that one around for Nickpun. Sending that one across the zone. And now we see some offense for the Union. Lauer. See if they can get... Oh.
Good.
Coming back in. Quick rush with speed. Takes a shot turned aside by Dickinson. Right into the slot. Another between the legs play. Denied. And that one easily turned over and sent out. But again, no possession for the Union. They're really struggling. And that one is going to be offside, just barely. And they're calling it an intentional offside, so it's going to go all the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really going to benefit the Union because they have been stuck in their defensive zone for most of this period. so they'll get a chance on the offensive zone draw. Now, the question is, what do they do if they win this draw? And I'd say just crash the net, do what you did before. It worked last time.
Definitely. They don't ask how, they ask how many. You don't need a pretty goal to tie this game up. Oh, whistle. J-Down actually did win the draw, but it got whistled on a false start, so they're going to have to try again.
Green.
Yeah, they're directed traffic. And, of course, the Kings win that one. Unfortunate for the Union. J-Down batted out of the air, takes the shot. Didn't get through Giampietro. Trying to stay.
Good!
And they gain the zone. Bottom of the circle. They give it up. Now there's a move. Hang on. Union coming in on a rush. He's got help. And behind the net. Kings now take it. Just about a minute to go here. Pinching defenseman. Union still have possession. At the hash marks, takes the shot. That one goes wide. Second chance. Oh, and a diving shot block. Good job. 55 seconds to go.
Good.
Kings. They get 2-on-1. Into the slot. Oh, didn't connect. 45 seconds now.
Good!
Klein makes a move. Gets back to it. The left circle. Nothing comes of it. Salemi has it now. Tried to send that one across at a nice pitch. He picks it up. Sends it across to Lean. Takes the shot. Oh, that one goes wide. Good opportunity. Jensen chasing after this one. He can't make it happen. The Kings still have it. 15 seconds to go in the period. Back to the point. Takes the shot. Dudek goes harmlessly wide. Final 5 seconds now. There's a shot. A big save by Dickinson. The end of the period to keep this one a one-goal game. And that'll do it for the first. Oh! With one more buzzer beater stop, and Dickinson coming up big in these last few seconds.
And they needed those big stops after that assault that they've been going through in the first period. And just as the buzzer went off, didn't quite get all the way through.
Stuff just come off?
But with that being said, there was some
they
instances
come off
of
real
Union
easy.
pushing back.
I thought it was
has
like a
mainly
different
been
ball
the
that
forechecking of the Kings that's been causing them trouble. But
Well, I got two now.
they find a way to counter it. The Union can turn things around just that easily.
What sort of adjustments do you think Palatine needs to do here? Because it really does feel like they're in this game, especially after seeing those last couple of minutes. But man, they've got to find a way to generate some offense here. What do you think is going to be like? If you're the coach, what's the one thing that you say, hey boys, this is what we got to do in the second period?
One thing I do notice is that they do need a sense of urgency. Even when they got the ball back in their zone and forcing the other team to tag up, there isn't that push to try to get the speed going, because then you got the forechecking on your tail. So they really need to put some speed into the game, as well as try to get those passes to connect. Of course, you have that forechecking right on you. You have got to get your feet moving.
Yeah, the Kings are definitely playing with more urgency, a more aggressive forecheck, and again, connecting their passes a little bit better. We saw their number 11, Captain James Brill, trying to direct traffic for his team and let them know. But really, in spite of how, I think by the eye test, you'd say that Union got pretty worked in that period, they're still one goal down. And with the goal that they got on Giampietro, they show that he is beatable. He gave up 2 against the Southsiders, so he is a good goalie, only giving up 2 against Chicago like that. But I think they know that they got a little lucky getting away with that one, only 1 down. And I agree with you. I think a little bit more urgency and maybe a little bit tighter defensively.
Out!
Passes together, you never know. They get that one out of the zone, but it's immediately.
All right, you're good.
Gained. They gain the zone and lose it again. Comes all the way down, and that one will be an icing chased after by Weissenberger, but no need, as this one's going to sum all the way back.
Yeah, this is another issue that they have come across with that forechecking. So they have trouble transitioning. They can get to the offensive zone, but they only have a limited amount of choices as far as to how to get there.
Draw one and controlled by the Union. Just gets beaten a foot race. Jayara almost had it. Opportunity for his team offensively.
Good.
Get it into the zone, but don't possess it. It comes right back. Kings, very patient. Not a lot of pressure defensively, so they've got all the time in the world. Another opportunity and another save by Dickinson.
And Dickinson has been one of the reasons why the Union are keeping this close. Even with a few close-up shots, he has kept this close. As you see, one King driving the net. Now he is pushed out a bit, but that does leave one to crash the net. Luckily, it would look like it was going to go wide anyway.
Mike Fried was right there, number 75. Good opportunity. They just keep coming. Another chance. Defensively, and Morgan just smothers that one. I'm sorry, Dickinson covers that.
It looked like there was a little bit of fierceness in the eyes as you saw a few sticks whacking toward the net. I'm wondering if the Kings are getting a little bit frustrated, even though they got the lead, because they've had the chances, but they feel like they could have had a little more by now.
Well, we talk about adjustments for the Union. For me, adjustments for the Kings would be, let's not be so fancy. They tried quite a few between the legs toe drag style moves and got denied every time. I think if you just go with a simpler pass, well, hang on. This one given away to Brill on the backhand. Shot goes wide. Jay down, chasing after that one on the forecheck.
Good.
But that's what I'm saying. If they get a little too cute, they might be robbing themselves of a chance. Here's an opportunity! And that one stays out somehow. Wow. I thought Resick had it. I thought for sure that went in, but no. Dan Lauer brings it back for the Union. Control behind the net. Salemi. Under pressure from Nuck. Getting double teamed now. Trying to work that one out is Del Castillo. Almost stole that one right at the top of the slot.
Good.
Instead, the Kings come back with speed. Pulls up. Sends it across. And tries to do a give and go, and another shot stopped. Brill gets that one out for his team. He's got a possible chance for 2-on-1 if they hurry. That shot stopped by Jean-Pietro. Still trading chances, not quite at the same pace that they were in the first. Lane with the backhand just leaves that behind.
That's good.
Definitely seeing a lot more Union possession so far this period. Almost 3 minutes down.
Yep, that's good.
Trying to set up Lauer in front. He couldn't control it. They're forced to retreat, and that turns into some problems.
That's good.
This one's going to come all the way back in.
Still in. Still in.
Kings still control the zone. That one's sent over by Maraca. Trying to get that one in front. Takes the shot. Dickinson, another stop. Now a 3-on-2 for the Union, but they just get it deep. On the dump and chase. Collected behind the net. Tries to turn that one forward. That one bouncing. And the Kings get to it first, flashing their speed here. They've got numbers on the right-hand side. In front! Big shot, another stop! Ball is loose. Kings still have it now along the right-hand side. Shot from way outside. Many bodies in front. Where is it? Digging at it. Stays out again. Dickinson.
I said free.
His head trying to keep his team in
I said
this
it's
game.
free.
6 minutes to go. Belmont Heights Kings attacking. Sends that one around. Now another shot. Back up to the point for Nuck.
Watch it, guys, with the sticks.
Goes through 3 players. He's still got it on the backhand. Sends back Molinelli. Now behind the net. Long stretch here without a whistle. Another chance and they score! 3-1 Kings.
There was just too much pressure for the Union to handle. And right there, Molinelli will get his second of the game. And that's what happens when you get stuck in your zone for
96 and
that long.
75.
The Union needed a whistle, but it just went on for too long.
Next time I'll go with loose.
Yeah,
That's better.
better.
I said
Help
free,
on that
free.
one, but you're right, Molinelli's second. Sounds like there was maybe a little bit of confusion from the Union in the calls that the officials were making. Sounds like the refs were just trying to let them know that the ball was loose. It sounded like maybe some of the Union players were misinterpreting that call. Nonetheless, that one goes in. It's 3-1, about halfway.
High stick.
Out.
Nick Pond went down, but no call. Play continues. They gain the zone. Send it across to Jay Down. But his shot doesn't get through.
Good.
More speed from the Kings.
No.
Sends that one in front. Oh, I thought for sure, but no. Oh! I don't know if that was
Nice.
a ball or what happened there. Under 5 to go here, past the halfway point. And if those shot numbers are to be believed, the Kings are out shooting the Union 18-3. Palatine needs to generate some offense. Oh, a great opportunity on the back door, but he couldn't connect. Nick Pond again.
No!
To generate some offense for his team. Parisi defending. This one in front. Dickinson save. Second chance save. Where is it? In the feet. And another opportunity. They're acting like that's a goal. I think it is. And it's 4-1.
Let's see. Well, first off, you got one shooter right in the low slot, high scoring area.
23 from 75.
Yep, they are giving it to him, and that is definitely in the back of the net. 4-1. I think the Union is just getting tired.
I tell you, if you want to, as a coach or captain, you want to show your team some footage to try to help grow, there it is right there. You just can't let that happen. He was all alone. No one anywhere near him.
That's out. Good over here.
It's 4-1, just past the halfway mark. Union have it now. Gives it across. Del Castillo in front of the net. There's a shot. It's coming back around. Lauer gets to it first. The bottom of the left-hand circle. Sends it behind the net. Tries to stuff it out in front. Doesn't go. And the Kings come back here. 3:35 left to go. Second period as they lead 4-1 and look to add. Lean on the left-hand side. Walks in. Sends it right into the slot. And again, a lot of unmarked players, it feels like. Scrambling there. Dickinson's down. Sprawling. Keeps it out. Moraka has Lean, and he's going to go past him up to the point with a big shot from Weissenberger. Players seem a little confused as where it was bouncing around.
So good.
Kings still have it. Lean. That one off the net. 3 minutes to go here, and the shot's at a staggering 19-3. Still in control. Lean gets it in deep. Shoveled around, now collected behind the net. Cycles it down low. Union players just trying to contain the outside. They do manage to get the clear, and hopefully a change. There were 2.5 to go in the second. After a strong start, the Palatine Union are struggling to stay afloat in this game. There's a steal. And a possible chance with speed.
Good!
Conger sent that across. All along the left-hand side. Jensen was there, but a rare stop by Gianpietro. Not because he's been letting him in, but because he hasn't been seeing him at all.
So here was the scramble just a moment ago. And this has been the go-to for the Kings. They just set up point blank in front of the net because they got all those lanes open.
Draw one by the Union with an opportunity to try to generate some offense here late in the period. And there's a shot. Pietro turned it aside. Stopped up by Giara. He lost it. And now under 2 minutes to go, second period. Kings again on the attack. Gain the zone. Walks in, pulls up, sends it across. Did all right. $1:45 now. Kings just continuing to pour on the offense.
Go get it, Raz!
Flips that one.
Nice!
Giara wins the race. Pietro had to come out. Like to see that sense of speed and urgency from at least one Union player. Stopped up by Dudek. Sent across to Muller. And that one whistled down. And Kings players seem a little perplexed as to why.
They're calling a penalty.
Oh, we got a penalty.
Where? Who's got 6?
Kings are getting too many men, it sounds like.
That's what I heard.
Center ice. No penalty.
No, they're going to set it to center. I think they're saying that, yeah,
Oh.
they said it was a mistake.
Yeah, no penalty.
It's all right.
Wow.
You're nervous, buddy. It's okay. It's all right, guys. Can we go? Right here.
Well, good on the refs for admitting that that was a mistake. It's unfortunate, but appreciate the honesty.
All right, guys.
Minute 20 to go. Staying 5 aside here in the second period. Kings leading 4-1. This one coming deep back for the Union as they're retreating. Tried to control that one on their own end, but comes down for an
No
icing
change, Green.
again.
Did you hear what the Union bench was shouting? Someone was shouting too many men. They're trying to get anything to turn this game around. But in all honesty,
I mean, I don't blame them when they're getting outshot 20-5. Back to the point. Nuck tricks the shot. Final minute of play here, second period. And another icing.
No change.
I had mentioned at the intermission that the Union needed a sense of urgency, but now I got a feeling that I don't think it's an option because they are just tired. They keep making icings and they're not allowed to make the change. So they are just running on fumes right now.
It's definitely a shoot yourself in the foot kind of situation where you're not giving yourself a chance to win. You got to win some races.
Good
In order to
overhead.
do it, you got to have the legs. If you don't have the legs, you can't win the races. Brill wins that one. They have it behind the net. Takes a look. Players crash the net, but they can't get the ball there. On the
That's a goal.
backhand,
That's a
there's
good
a
goal.
shot. They score! The Union
11.
find an answer here late in the second period.
92-66.
See, that's exactly what the Union needed. They needed something to turn the tide of this game, and it is crash the net. And
11 from 92 and 66.
was a tip? I don't think so, as it was on the turnaround, and that should be going to Mike Parisi.
I think I heard them say that it was Salemi. I heard 92 from 66 would be Salemi and Del Castillo. Either way, the Union
Go after him!
get within 2.
Nice, go!
20 seconds to go in the second period.
Good.
Opportunity here with final 15 seconds left to go. That one just knocked off of his stick, though. And the Kings probably just want to eat the clock here. Escape with the 2-goal lead. And that'll do it. Some back and forth play in the neutral zone will close out the second period. 4-2. Kings still in the lead, still in control of this game, but the Union shows signs of life here late in the second period.
I don't know what it could be, so I want to just check.
Now, they gave the goal to
'cause I'm
James
yelling.
Brill. Salemi and Del Castillo got the assists. But the question is, do they have the energy to get back in the game? Because from what I saw in the second period, with all the icings that were committed, they were just too tired to make it into the offensive zone, and it had to take a whistle in order for them to get into the offensive zone. Now, I'm not discrediting the Union as far as trying to get back in this game, but I got a feeling that they're just getting outmatched.
No, I'm keeping everything over here.
I mean, I think one of the issues that I'm seeing is, again, it goes back to what you're talking about. The bench is tired. They're losing a lot of these races, and then when they get hemmed into their own zone for so long, they're forced to just use that pressure release valve of just send it down. But, of course, that's counterproductive because now you've got an icing, you can't change, and that also makes it so they can't break out cleanly. They're losing these races. And I think that's really the cause of all of these issues. If they can get a little bit of hustle for these last 10 minutes and find some energy in those legs, win 1 or 2 races, I think that's going to clean up their defensive play. That's going to help them make cleaner breakouts. That's going to help them win battles in the offensive zone and maintain possession. Because right now, they are just chasing this game. And there's another one.
At this point, it's looking like the Union's trying to get any chance they can get to get a breath. I mean, if your team is tired, I mean, you got your timeout. I mean, if you need a breath, you can go ahead and take it, but it's really up to the coach what they want to do.
No, I was actually thinking the same thing. Hopefully the intermission will help them out. They do have the timeout. Morocco wins the draw clean, and there's a shot. Just misses Dickinson wide. Calling for it in the middle. They can't connect. Back around. There's that speed that I'm talking about. Show some life. Win the race.
Oh.
Nice job there by Nickman. He's been a bright spot for this team. Does cause a turnover, though, and it comes right back in. Morocco takes the shot. Good job defensively. There's the shot. Dickinson covers. Good save. A good start here for the Union. I like their defensive zone coverage. They're staying their checks a little bit tighter.
And that's pretty much what it comes down to. They got to play closer to their check, and that's where you get better defensive coverage and you get more stops like these. But it did occur to me that the reason they can't use the timeouts because they keep committing the ice, and they can't use a timeout when they're icing the ball.
I thought about that too. Another quick shot right off the draw, and another save by Dickinson. But I do think that the message got through on the bench after that Molinelli goal of, guys, we can't do this. We can't leave this player in front of our goalie completely alone. That's just an unexcusable error. And so I don't expect that we'll see more of that. There's some speed again. Gianpietro sees it, and he comes out. Very active goaltender. That makes sense, too, when he hasn't seen the ball much. He's cold. He wants to feel the game. Di Castillo fighting that one. He got double-teamed. And now a 3-on-2 for the Kings. Gets that one under the net. Coming back around, but this one picked up by the Union. Di Castillo.
It's good.
Did that one across, but is intercepted. We are seeing signs of life here from the Union. You like to see that. And another opportunity.
Good.
They are finding their legs. I like it. Bodies come together in a turnover at the blue line. This one comes down, no icing. It's a foot race. Kings on it first. Still with it. Nice dispossession.
Good.
Union. There's no icing on this one, so it's another race. Kings get to this one first. Send this one up. We're definitely seeing a more competitive Union here in this third period. 8 minutes left to go. They've got a 2-goal deficit to make up. We'll see if they can sustain it. Again, being outshot 20-6. But hey, 2 goals on 6 shots is showing this team knows how to score. Move to the outside. Thought he was going to get that one around on the backhand at the last second. Alessandro Morocco with a good idea.
Good.
Union players coming back in again. That one shot goes wide. He can't get to it in time, though, and so it comes right back the other way. And that one given away. Walking in, takes a shot. And handled by Dickinson. That was a dangerous chance by Sean O'Brien.
And that leads into a lesson as far as time management. You see, the driving the net in. See, he's up in the stand-up position. He's trying to get around him, but just couldn't get a handle on it. But you saw that. Dickinson had decided to go for the cover instead of the ice. That's a better option.
Yeah, I agree. Because at least that gives you the opportunity to make the change. It still ends up in a face-off.
Nice!
This one coming all the way down. Weissenberger first one on it. Couple players coming on the forecheck, but that one eludes them all. Defensively, Corniglia had to play that. The Kings have it again as they break out of their own zone. Bouncing around middle. Jensen made a move there. Kings back with it on the left-hand side. They lead 4-2 here. 6:30 left to go in the third period. Both teams looking for their first win on the young season. Our third week of action, the NBHL's fourth, and Chicago's second. So time is meaningless. Klein takes a shot. Dickinson turns that one away. Another shot. That one went across the crease. Didn't get on that. Back up to the point. Shot block. Ooh. And yeah, that was an uncomfortable shot block to be sure. That was Lethem Conger. We'll see if he returns. About 6 minutes left to go. And they score! A quick one. A sneaky one. Jammed in. And it's 5-2.
John Lean is going to get credit for this one. And Dickinson was probably expecting him to go the other way around. And you know, I think that this is going to go to Maraca for the Kings. Just keep finding holes in there. As for the Union, time is winding down. And they need one big push.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Palatine.
Still good.
And here's another opportunity. Union looking to respond. Takes this shot. That one goes up high and glove down.
Yeah.
By Jean-Pierre.
It's here anyway, either way. Right here.
At this point, I'm starting to think that maybe the Union should use their timeout, try to get their players a rest, and you still have the offensive zone draw. Now, we know that the Union can get to the net and try to take advantage of a cold goaltender, but the trouble is that they can't hang on to possession.
Had a great opportunity there. Now they have it along the near side. Walks that one forward. Shot block diving. Good opportunity, but yeah, like you said, that's where their offense comes from. But here's on the counterattack. Here come the Kings. Takes this shot. Big stop by Dickinson. Still in possession. Kings finding another gear now as they can feel the Union press. Swatted at again and again by Nickman. Molinelli gets to this one. He's had a strong game for his team. As the game does start winding down and I start thinking MVP territory, his name's got to be up there.
No change.
As this one goes back for another icing.
And yet another time that the Union cannot make a change. Less than 5 minutes left and 3 goals down.
No change, Green.
Even with that amount of time, I'm not sure if the Union has that. Well, looks like they are going to use their timeout, just as I expected. But as far as whether they got that push to make it to the net, I'm not too sure because the transition game has just not been there.
I heard they can.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's really what's been hurting them, is not being able to get out of their zone cleanly.
Yeah.
And full credit to the Kings, by the way. Their tenacious forecheck and play off the ball has absolutely been where that's been coming from in my eyes. That these players play like they know each other really well. This is the team that makes sense to me that they took the Southsiders to a 1-goal, low-scoring affair. That they can hang with the best in this division, and we're seeing why right now.
And this is showing how much that the Kings have improved since last season. They usually had struggled last season, but when they're putting up scores 2-1 against the Southsiders, and with how that they've been handling the forechecking, this can make the Kings a competitive team, and dare I say, they can even be a dark horse if they're that good enough.
I'm excited to see how this season plays out. For me, one of the big things that's really shown up in this game for them is I've been really impressed with their foot speed. And I think that is something that they improved on from last year. Another opportunity here to try to stuff this one in past Dickinson as they continue to possess. Their passing game has also greatly improved. They just look so much more comfortable with each other as players. This one coming back down into the zone. And gloved out of the air by Gianpietro. Here with 4:35 left to go in the third.
I would be telling the Union players that you want to have quick shots in the net. You don't have enough time to draw up plays. You only got less than 5 minutes left. You need to get 3 on the board. So even if you have to force the goaltender to take a whistle, that'll give you time to get some rest. And they can just at least find one to get through. This should give the Union at least a breath.
There's more of that speed from the Kings as they bust in along the right-hand side. Gets past the defense. Mazzaroni, and they score from behind the net. And that one makes it 6-2 and just about out of reach.
Yeah, this is pretty much going to put it away, but where did that, oh, is that an own goal? Did that go off a grill?
It may have been. Yeah, was that Brill or was that Conger? I did see a one. I didn't see if there were 2 ones. Either way, I think you might be right. That's a tough one. Hopefully not a sign of how this season's going to go for the Union. Definitely growing pains here in this Tier 2 division, Chicago. Good to see the division and the league grow, but you figured this might happen. Under 4 minutes to play. 6-2. Kings feeling very comfortable.
That's good.
Just showing their team identity. Speed, strong forecheck, good passing. Union trying to get something. And that one there, you see the frustration on Dan Lauer as he couldn't hold the zone. Dickinson's way outside. He's got 2. Oh, and a welcome help there from Cerniglia. But it's not over. Another shot. That one bouncing around. Union have it as they escape what could have been a very painful situation for Bobby Dickinson.
Icing.
And he's behind the red, so that one's going to be another icing. 3:11 in the third.
Well, that certainly made it interesting. Dickinson was like, I'll do this all by myself. He did get some help from Cerniglia. But with a 4-goal deficit, I get a feeling that right now they're just having fun with it. Pretty much all you can do is such a large deficit.
No kidding. And full marks to Dickinson. It's not like he had a bad game. We've seen multiple examples of where he's just not getting the help that he needs. Back to the point from Molinelli. That one rolling around in front as they try to build and continue to pad the stats. Back up into the slot, and here come the Union. And they can't clear the zone. Still held in by Nuck.
Still good. Out.
And now it's out with 2:45 to go in the third period of what will surely be a Belmont Heights Kings victory, their first of the season, leaving the Union still trying to find theirs. And that one goes down for icing in spite
You can't change.
Zalemi's hustle.
No change.
Yeah,
Stefan.
I kind of lost track of how many icings there were. But, and again, back to Dickinson. I mean, this is going to put 6 goals against him to bring his total to 14, but I really don't put that against him. I mean, as you said, I don't think he's had the support this game, and he's been trying all game, and there were some big saves that he made that kept this close.
Absolutely. He made some great saves, especially in the first period. There's a move by Molinelli. He cuts inside, takes this shot, That one sounded like maybe just glanced off the outside of the post. Dudek bodying up against that one. He gets some help as Maraca comes in to assist. Maraca back to Molinelli, who sends it all the way down. Just out of reach of Dudek. Lost his stick. Still trying to defend. Well, not defend, but regain possession, I suppose. 2 minutes to go here. They have it in front. Lane drops that one off. Can't make anything happen. Still with it. Dishes aside. Takes his shot. Dickinson the save. 45 to go. This one's all about academic. We'll just see if the stats change. Here come the Union. And they can't exit the zone.
Good.
Now they do. That one just past Giara. It's got to be frustrating.
Good!
Now they have an offensive shot. And
Right
glove
there, guys.
down and held by Jean-Pietro.
And that's going to be shot number 7 for the Union, and they wish that they had a lot more than that, but the fact is they had just ran themselves ragged throughout the entire game. And by the way, that own goal has been credited to Nico Lazzaroni.
Number 3, Lazzaroni gets on the scoreboard. Final minute 15 ticking down here. Kings have a 2-on-1, possible 3-on-1. Across. Oh, good defensive work. Gets that one out. They do manage to walk it out with the final minute to go. And that one just sent in by Jara. The dump and chase seems to be what the Union are planning on doing. They do regain possession. Now they have it behind the net. Tried to set that one up in front. Quick little shove there. Held the line. Shot in from outside by Cerniglia. Final 40 seconds to go here. It just remains to be seen if the score will change. As it is currently 6-2, so the Kings are going to win this one for sure. Getting their first victory on the season. Fanned at the hash marks. Now back for Cerniglia. And he's got to try to defend. He wants to get back and help out his goalie here in these final 15 seconds. Chance in front, didn't connect. Final 10 are going to tick down. Waved at with a backhand. Dickinson with another save. And one more goal. There you see the frustration by Cerniglia. And it will be 7-2 here with 4.5 to go.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where, I mean, the Kings are not giving up in the play. They're going to play until the horn blows. But yeah, you can understand the frustration with the Union after what they have been through the entire game. But that's just another lesson in playing in ball hockey. That's something you've got to adjust throughout the entire year.
Now, I don't want to put any thoughts in your head here, but as we look to our MVP of the game, I feel like this might be one of those situations where it's
You were excited about that.
victory by committee, because Alessandro Maraca was good, Robbie Molinelli was good, Nico Lazzaroni was good, John Lane was good, Jean-Pietro answered when he had to in net. I mean, what are your thoughts here, Daniel? Because this is a tough one for MVP of this game.
I mean, there's a lot of players to choose from, but as far as who contributed the most, I gotta go with Robbie Molinelli. He comes out of this game with 2 goals under his belt, and what was pretty much a dominant performance by the Kings. I mean, the main problem with the Union has been that they ice the ball. They just pretty much become tired when it comes to the second period, and they just don't have enough energy to get into the game. Now that being said, they can get to the net, they can score. We've seen that, but the trouble is trying to get into the offensive zone. But hopefully this will be a lesson for them that they're going to have to try to get something organized on the chart. And as far as the Kings, this is a good win for them, and I got a feeling that they can make it at least maybe mid-tier in the division. Whether they can be better than either Southsiders or Raiders is yet to be seen.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think, obviously, congrats to Molinelli for the great game, 2 goals, but a really solid team effort across the board by the Belmont Heights Kings. And yeah, I think this coupled with last week's close shave against the Southsiders, they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves. I liked a lot of what I saw from them in terms of their identity. A lot of speed, a lot of pressure, really good passing. Yeah, I think this is a team that can definitely do some damage here, potentially come playoff time. As far as Palatine Union, it's a tough start to the season. You go up against a really, really tough Raiders team, and then right here, this possible new look Kings. So it's a tough way to start the season, but I think they broke that barrier. They got some goals. They're in it. So we'll see, and hopefully they can recover from this 0-2 start. But in the meantime, that brings us to our second of 3 games here. We've got those Chicago Raiders, and they're going up against another one of the new teams, the Southside Stingrays. Stingrays lost 6-1 in their inaugural game against the Hornets, which is the new look Dolphins. And the Raiders, as we mentioned, they took the Union to school in their first one, winning that one 8-0. We mentioned this at the top of the show. The Raiders and the Southsiders are really the class of this division. But what are your thoughts about the Stingrays' chances here against such a tough Chicago team?
Now, here's what you do need to know about the Stingrays. They do have some former Dolphins on the team. Coming back, Gabe Barrera. You also have Sam Espinoza. So you do have some familiar names on the roster. So you have some youth on the team. But when you're facing a team like the Raiders, this is not going to come very easy. The Raiders, of course, have the likes of Chris Bauer, and we also have John Kelly, who currently leads on points. He came out with a hat trick with their win over the Union. Now, there is some news of Frank Klein not expected to play, but his son, Frankie Klein, will be in this game, and he does have a goal under his belt, and he's only 15.
Good news there for Frankie. We'll take a look and see if the captain, number 9 for the Raiders, does suit up. We know he is nursing an injury. Information I got said it was basically 50-50, but yeah, when you've got such a stacked team, if your captain is, not feeling it, I don't necessarily blame you and saying, let's sit this one out and make sure that we don't aggravate anything, because a lot of players already here with multi-point games. Dan Brunner, Justin Garlinski, Fred Coletta, John Kelly, as you'd mentioned. All of these guys have got multi-point games. Mike Sabatini, also, he had 2 assists in that game. So this is a tough team. Billy Jacques in net, of course, he's one of the best goalies in the division. But Stingrays, you've got Bill Little. Kyle Morgan, he found the net for his team, getting the first goal of the Stingrays last game. There's something to this. I don't expect this to necessarily be a rout, but the Raiders are one of the best in the division. I just think back to New Jersey last year and the Mojo, the number 7 seed in their division, coming all the way back to not just win their division, but take the Tier 2 Milec Cup. So anything can happen in these crazy seasons, and especially when you have such a small division like Chicago, it doesn't take a lot. You need some breaks, but it doesn't take a lot to get yourself a ticket to the Milec Cup. I mean, don't get me wrong, it takes a lot, but it's not as many things need to go your way. And this is a game of inches, so Raiders definitely the favorite in this one. But I'm excited to see the Southside Stingrays in our first look at them in action and see what they can do. Teams retiring to their benches now, and thank you so much if you are watching here on twitch.tv/NBHL official. You can follow us MVP TV here all season long with coverage all across the league. We're going to be in New England tomorrow, so stay tuned for that as well here in this triple-double of a doubleheader, 3 games each. This is our second of 3 this afternoon. Stick with us because we've got one more as the Hornets and the Southsiders go at it next. But for now, it's the Chicago Raiders and the Southside Stingrays. Teams at their benches, officials converging. It's James Brill and Chris Stampanato. We just saw Brill play for the Union. Now he puts on the zebra stripes and gets out to call a game. So they discuss things at center as players start to come off their benches and line up here. 10 minutes up on the clock, 0s on the board as we get ready to start the second of our 3 games in Chicago Tier 2 action here on MVP TV.
I got to speak with Bill Jocks before today's game, and he told me the status of the Raiders themselves, and they do feel like they can beat the Southsiders. They feel like that this is going to be their year, and with a mercy rule win, they got themselves a good argument.
Well, it's a strong way to come out of the gate, definitely, but you also have to understand who you're playing against, and you don't want that to go to your head necessarily. Trying to see here, get a good look and see who is on what side, so I apologize for that. I believe we have Raiders on the left and Stingrays on the right.
How about now?
Draw one quickly.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Now it's down into the corner.
Fix it in a second. Okay, now tell me what?
Behind the net.
What do you think you're getting?
Worked up. Tried to send that one in. Okay, I do have confirmation. The Raiders are on the left, Stingrays on the right. Sorry about that. 30 seconds tick down, and it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Stingrays.
Strong start so far, get right to the net.
Yeah, it's impressive. And that's what you want to see from them. This one coming all the way back down. See if that's going to be an icing. It sounds like no. The Raiders have it. Turn and fire there. Quick opportunity. A lot of speed we're seeing right now. Stingrays get to this one first, and that one on net. Josh Hamlin with an opportunity. Player goes down, no call. Raiders back on their heels a little bit as the Stingrays come out of the gates on fire. Battle for it behind that. Ooh, getting a little physical, and that hand is going to go up. We'll get our first penalty of the day.
I think this is going to go against the Stingrays, and you can see, because I saw a little pushing behind the net, and looks, here's our call.
Yep, and that's a rough. So, take a look at it right here.
Yeah, this is going to be behind the net. Watch the 25, and here's where it starts. It gets a shove from behind. Everyone starts to get physical early, and then as he's trying to struggle to get away, and then he throws the hands.
Oh,
up to the
interesting.
face, and he's going to get called there.
Yeah, so that is a bit of a retaliatory penalty. That's a tough one. I understand the case, but that is going to be a penalty against the Stingrays. And that one covered by Jacques.
The Stingrays going off strong on the penalty kill. Again, the offensive zone draw with 4 runners on the floor.
Actually, no, I was wrong. They are going to give that to the Raiders player. Wait, no. Did they give it to both? I feel like I'm seeing 5 of... Something's wrong. I feel like I'm seeing 5 aside.
That's interesting. Yeah, they have a penalty against the Stingrays, but yet we see 5 runners on the floor. That's interesting.
That is a very peculiar situation. I apologize for the confusion. Well, either way, yeah, we are 5 aside, but they do have a minor up on the board. And that is for John Kelly. Well, no. Okay, it was matching, so they both got it. They both got it. That makes sense. That makes sense. which I understand because based on the play, I do feel like the Stingrays player had an argument. And now it's off the clock entirely, and so, yes, we are... Well, I think we got that sorted out for you, fans. Sorry about that. Frankie Klein, number 5, along the left-hand side. They send that one across. 7.5 to go. Nice job at the blue line, holding the zone. Big speed now. Raiders get to it. Sticks come together. Up the wall. Swung at and missed. Shot, turned aside by Wagner. Now behind the net. Here's Sheets. That one up. Stingrays trying to steal. Shovel that one in front. Wagner stood tall. And Stingrays with a counterattack. Much faster affair than we saw in our first game. These guys are coming out ready to go. I'm curious to see if it'll be sustainable because we're only 3 minutes gone here. Big shot from way outside, swung at by Jacques. This one coming all the way out. Stingrays get to it first, no icing. That one across for Marciano. Gunned in from way out, but doesn't go. And they'll have to come back. Now this one gets in deep. Possible change behind the play. Kreitzer chasing after that one. Stingrays hold his own. Takes a shot. Jacques save. Behind the net. This one coming all the way up. Defenseman pinches in, keeps it alive. A lot of pressure here from the Stingrays. Very impressed with this performance so far by them. We have a delayed call, so it's going to be a penalty against the Raiders this time for sure, hopefully. It's 6-on-5 right now, so we do have some odd man advantage. Shot from way outside, Jacques save. Stingrays still controlling a long possession. And they keep it in. And they keep it away from the Raiders. And eventually, Chicago gets a touch. And the Stingrays will go 5-on-4. And hang on, Timber's getting a little flared here.
Yeah, it started getting physical near the end of the play. Shane Boulay had given him a good shove. Now, I thought I saw a hold somewhere.
It's unclear, and I didn't hear the call from the official. Miles Silverne is going to be the guy sitting, though, so it will be a penalty against the Raiders. Stingrays, for sure, will be up 5-on-4. This one coming all the way down. Of course, no icing because it's a power play. So the Stingrays, again, minute-long penalties. You really have to move to take advantage of them. Power play goals not super common in this league because of that. Because we're already halfway gone here. And they work it back to the point. Send it in. A little bit of a scramble. Stingrays still have it. A lot of pressure, though. Good penalty killing by the Raiders. That one just walked into Jacques. That's a scary play.
Yeah, the intention of Pernarski was to try to get him to cover the ball, but probably not the way that he wanted to do it. But it will give them a chance to make the change, and with 13 seconds left on the power play.
They do still have the offensive draw. Late change there, just barely got it on time. Walking it up. That one bounced off the end boards and out, and that's just about going to do it for the power play. So Raiders get the kill. But I got to tell you, Daniel, right out of the gate here, I'm very impressed with what the Stingrays are doing. They are ready to match the intensity of the Raiders big time. That one in feet. They send that one deep. Just a little bit over 4 minutes left to go here in the first period. Still scoreless. Of a fast and physical affair. This one comes down, but Stingrays possess again. Hamlin has it on his side. Sends that one diagonally into the zone. No icing on that play, but the Stingrays don't possess. The Raiders try to walk this one out. And a good stick again, breaks it up. Stingray player goes down to his knees. That was Kreitzer. And ball forced down to Wagner. Wagner hasn't had to do much so far here with 3:40 left to go in the first.
And considering that the Stingrays had just come off a loss against the Hornets 6-1, Stingrays having a good bounce back and against one of the better teams. This would be a better test for them. And if you just look by his score sheets, you would think that they would be at a disadvantage. And right now, it's looking like the opposite.
And there you see number 9, Frank Klein. He is there in action for the Raiders. And hang on, we got a possible 2-on-1. Takes the shot, Jacques the save, rebound cleared out. Still held. Bouncing around in the slot on the backhand. That went just out of the reach of Morgan. Kyle Morgan and Ryan Kanoy after it. Morgan tries to steal. They still hold it. Good shift here for the Stingrays. And that one given away to Frankie Klein, and they get it out. Good job by the youngster defensively here with 3 minutes left to go. Almost. And there's a steal. Hang on. And re-stolen. And here come the Stingrays again with speed. 3-on-2. Oh, and you're just barely offside. You hate those.
Yeah, this is where speed is going to come into play. They had a chance on the 3-on-2, but I think they're going to get caught on the near end and, by a good foot or so.
Yeah. Good eye by the official. That's tough. You want to use your speed, like you said. You want to get up in the play, but you got to do it the right way. The ball carrier didn't get in first, so that one comes back to the neutral zone. This one sent around. Stingrays charging back in. Slows this one up with 2:40 to go. Still scoreless. And there's another shot waved out by Jacques. Turning fires from the right-hand point. Josh Hamlin forechecking. Pressing up against the Raiders players. And another shot, another save. A big mad scramble. Raiders desperate to get out of their zone, and they do. Flip this one high and off the glass. Now down and behind the net. Stingrays trying to make something happen. Raiders still pushing here. Final 2 minutes of the first period. We're still scoreless. Trying to see who can break the tie. Stingrays hemmed in their own zone by a tough 3-man forecheck. But they get it out. And there's a lot of space. Big shot. Out of blocker save, rather. And that one goes out of play.
Again, the Stingrays using their speed to drive the net, and Jacques had to make some big saves. And we mentioned earlier about the kind of team you play. After getting a Mercy Rule win, you don't think that the Raiders believe that they are going to be facing that much resistance early in this game.
Minute 40 left to go. Stingrays trying to get their first goal of this game. Someone trying to get the first goal. Back to the point. Big shot from the center. Scramble. Jacques makes the first save. Stingrays out shooting the Raiders 8-2. Have it behind the net. And they still got it. There's a shot with a big screen. Couldn't get it in. Jacques is being forced to do a lot of work here for his team.
That's why you gave us 400.
Sends this one back down. Final minute of play here, first period. Now still in the corner. A lot of pressure here from the Stingrays. There's another shot. And
the net's off.
oh, it looks like the net's off. Yep.
And Jacques really frustrated with how this period's been going. I mean, he's been doing a lot of work in the net. I mean, he's doing a good job, but at the same time, he really feels like his team needs to have a bigger push. Being outshot 8-2, the Raiders got to find a way to push back.
47.5 to go. Still in a scoreless first period. Takes a look. He's in triple coverage. Forced back to the red line, but they hold the zone. Walking this one down. Kreitzer. Back to the point. Settled by King. Gets this in deep. Under 30 seconds to go now. King. He's got a player back door who goes down. 15 seconds now. Behind the net. On the backhand. That one actually seems like it found its way to Jacques. That one just gets flipped out. And hang on, here's a little bit of a race. Klein can see if he can get to it. He's got 3 seconds, but no help, and that's going to do it. A scoreless first period here with the Raiders and the Stingrays. And Daniel, are you as impressed with the Stingrays as I am?
Well, this is certainly a way to rebound, and even better defensively. You look at the sweep check from Connor Whalen. Great job to deny him that opportunity. I mean, they've already done a great job with their offense out shooting the Raiders, and it'll be interesting to see what the Raiders discuss, because this is a huge turn from what they had last week. And we know that the Raiders are one of the better teams in the Chicago division, but when they're up against this much resistance against a new team, this is speaking volumes on how much they need to adjust. I mean, 1 week just does not tell the whole story. They have got a long ways to go.
Absolutely. It's a long season, to be sure. And I think for me, the thing that really is standing out is, and I know I talked about it with the Kings in the first game, but it's the speed, the pace at which this game is being played. We talked about wanting to see more urgency from the Union. I'm seeing that absolutely from the Stingrays right out of the gate, and I love that.
I think. We'll find out.
Well, we'll see.
And at the same time, I'm wondering what the state of mind is of Bill Jocks. You saw during that pause in the action how he was throwing his glove and blocker into disgust on the netting. I mean, he feels like his team should be playing better, and I mean, I get his frustration, but at the same time, the Stingrays are just that good of a team.
Apparently. I don't blame him, though, because he was called upon to do quite a bit there. He did it all well, which we know he's one of the best goalies in the division, so that's the kind of performance you expect from him. But I'm pretty sure he and the rest of his team probably wasn't expected to be under siege for 10 minutes like they were. Now you see Bill Little Sr. on the near side matching up with Miles Silverin.
Good. Ball's good.
Silverin and Little. Little gets on it first and sends it up the wall. They can't get out.
Still good.
Forced back in. Raiders trying to come out of the gates here the second period with a little bit more urgency to match the Stingrays. Just shot from way outside. Handled. Players come together. Stingrays get this one in deep. Chased after by Bauer. Stingrays still have it. Oh, we got a whistle.
I think that just went out of play, but I mean, not a bad push from the Raiders. Try to get a couple chances on the net, but they have to try to get it sustained. They want to show that they're a better team.
Yeah, it's definitely the start to the second that you want, but already less than almost 45 seconds in, and they find themselves with a defensive zone faceoff. Gabe Barrera, one of those names that you mentioned at the top of the show, wins the draw and gets that one on Jacques right away.
And for the record, Kyle Morgan is the only one who scored a goal for the Stingrays. We'll see if they go back to him or see if we can have another goal scorer.
This one rimmed around. Raiders.
Good.
Now underneath. First minute of the second gone, still scoreless.
Good.
And kept in. That's Sabatini. He had 2 helpers in their game against the Union. Back in on the attack is the Stingrays.
No
That
change,
one is
blue.
gonna go for icing. Yep. Just barely out of reach.
No change.
So back it goes.
This is what-
And the Raiders with the offensive draw.
Yeah, this is what the Raiders needed. They need an offensive zone draw and something to get that push for the offense. Because, as you just mentioned, Wagner's had very little action, only 2 shots on net so far.
Toledo won the draw briefly, but gave it away. Now they get it back. Moves it all the way across to an open point, and a big shot way outside. Wagner has to deal with that one, and he does.
That's it.
Tries his stuff. Good opportunity. Best chance we've seen so far for the Raiders. Tries to get this one off the wall and out, and they do, and now here comes the Stingrays with speed. They got a 3-on-1. Sends it across. Oh, and he just couldn't control it. Sends it back on the back door. Diving for it. They score! Southside Stingrays break the tie, and it's 1-0.
They decided to attack the net. You see one posted on the far post, and then you see Jocks loses sight of it,
Penny, right?
still scrambling to find it, but too late back of the net, and it's Hamlin with his first goal.
Big goal there. Yeah, I think that was talking about adjustments. That's an adjustment that we saw from the south side of getting closer on net and getting a little bit more traffic. And there you have it. But a tough break there for Chicago. The 3-on-1 that bites them. The Stingrays are up here. 2 minutes gone in the second period, and they look to continue. Raiders looking for an answer. Barat charged in, but he lost it.
Good.
Here come the Stingrays again. There's the speed. Gets around one man, but the shot blocked on a nice defensive stick. But I love seeing them turn on that second level of speed. You go from that run to a sprint to try to break away from your man. This one back up. They kept the line, just barely. Nice job by Kelly. Shot. On the stick of Klein. Back to the point. That one goes wide. Raiders putting on a little bit of a push there. And a nice shot block. Deflecting. Then that one back to the point, and another one. Stingrays have to be careful here. They're going to need a change. Frankie Klein pressing in. Nice move. And it doesn't go for icing because he had a man there. Across! Broken up and up front. Diving! Tries to do an Ovechkin and can't. Great opportunity for Bill Little. Now coming back the other way. And defensively cut off. Good speed by Jimmy King. They settle things down a little bit and try to get it out of the zone. Send that one up, but just out of reach.
Good.
Stingrays continuing to press. Raiders are pushing in hard, but Stingrays are responding with a bend not break right now. And they almost got another one behind Jacques. This one's sent back in, no icing. 6:10 to go in the second period. They lead by 1. Just barely. Marciano gets that one out. Sent back up. Roller. Sent across by Espinosa. But that one will go for icing here just under 6 minutes to go. And the Raiders with another offensive zone draw. And like you said, Daniel, they need these chances.
What a bad time for the feet of Kanoy to collapse under him. He was wide open in front of the Raiders' net, and just his legs just collapsed under him. That's just unfortunate timing.
Well, it was something I wondered in the first period when I saw the jump that both these teams were coming out with. I said, ooh, this is fun, this is exciting. Is this sustainable? And I don't know. We'll find out. We're approaching the halfway point here. Stingrays lead 1-0. Draw 1 by the Raiders. They take a shot. Ball's loose behind them. Everyone had to find it. I thought for a second Wagner had it. Sent across, another blast from the point. Doesn't get through. There's that speed. Oh, almost tripped. Kept his feet under him. Now it's a 2-on-1 if he hurries. He has help at the back door. Could connect with the pass. Espinosa was there and wanted it.
No.
Bodies come together in front of the scoring bench, and the Stingrays continue to control. Nice move there as the Raiders change behind the play. Second period, long change. Raiders now have it. They try to get in, and Wagner's just going to hang on. No problem there for the draw. They've been pretty solid in the circle so far.
The Stingrays have had a good rush there, but they were on the strong defensive side, so no lane to pass. But you could hear the Raiders bench shout, pressure, pressure, and they definitely need more of that to minimize those chances from the Stingrays. And they have not had a shot on net this period.
That's hard to believe, but you see the numbers there. 9-2. Coletta wins the draw for his team back to the point, and there's a big shot by Sabatini that gets blocked. They close in on it again. Trying to walk it forward. Runs into 3 Stingrays, and they turn it aside. Bodies coming together along the glass.
Play the ball,
Stingrays
guys.
still have it. Under great pressure, Stingrays still have it. The little senior tries to work that one down in the corner. Now they have it behind the net. Ball's loose, just trying to jam it past Jacques.
It's
that
out
one
now.
does end up getting sent out. Is it going to go for icing? No, it won't. Raiders get to it first. It's Sheets. But he gives it away. Stumbling over the blue line, and I thought maybe did he
Guys
save
got
it?
tangled
No,
up
I
there.
think they are going to call that offside, just barely.
Yeah,
They were tangled
making an
up at the blue
argument
line
that
and
he
he
was
fell in.
interfered with and he was pushed, but the rest said no. But here is the wraparound
Thank
attempt,
you.
and Jocks immediately sees the threat
Bro.
and closes off the near post. As a defenseman, this is where you have to throw the body on. You got to push your opponent out of the crease and keep them away from your goalie.
Yeah, take a penalty if you have to. I mean, obviously you don't want to, but take the penalty if you have to. Don't give them that space. So good job defensively by the Raiders, and great job by Billy Jacques to keep that one out. Keep this a 1-goal game. Raiders, after scoring 8 last week, surprised to find themselves halfway through the game and still scoreless. Credit to the Stingrays. They gain the zone. Turns that one back. Gets it to the point. Big shot. Looking for the rebound. Good idea by Kanoy. Now they have it behind the net again. And we're seeing more of that net front presence. Getting bodies in the crease. Sends that one. Hamlin. Hamlin. Tries to get it in front. Klein.
Good play,
Manages
good
to get
play.
that one out of the zone for his team. And they regroup. King
Good.
takes it forward. They gain the zone. Stingrays nice little behind the go. Love the give and go. Trying to get it back. Herrera lost it. And gunned in from way outside by Kelly. Now battling for it. Raiders have it in a high slot, but he can't control it. And the Stingrays pounce on that loose one. And they finally clear it.
Good.
And it's no icing, so they'll be able to get the change here with under 3 minutes to go. Stingrays leading 1-0 here over the Chicago Raiders. Looking for their first win of the season and of franchise history. They walk it back. Launch that one high.
It's good, it's good.
They gain the zone. Nice little spinorama move on the backhand. Trying to get it in front. Good defense there. Now on the backhand, back door. Oh, and what a save by Jacques, and it stays out.
Ball's good.
Stingrays still coming with pressure. 2:20 left to go in the second period.
Play the ball. Play the ball. Play the ball.
Lost it.
Play the ball.
You can hear the officials.
Guys, we'll both go.
Business is picking up, and we're getting physical. Player goes down in a heap. Lost his stick. No call. Ooh. He gave it up. Now down in the corner. Raiders looking for something here to close out the second period. There's still some clashing going on. And they score! The Raiders get the answer they want and tie the game!
We got a lot to take in from that sequence. We'll start off with the goal. So that was,
Please.
he banked it off from behind the net.
Bumping and grind. How'd that go in?
That was an impossible shot, and he found one
24. Anybody
off
assist
of
on that one?
Wagner.
I think that was Silverne. I'm not sure. I thought I heard the officials say 24. There's some more jawing going on at center ice. Draw one by the Raiders as they tie it up late here in the second period. And Daniel, I am looking forward to the third. But in the meantime, we've still got 100 seconds left to go in this one. Sticks come together. That's a cross. Stingrays get to it first. Takes a shot. That one's stopped by Jacques, and that one's sent up and out of play. Minute 21 left to go.
And like I said, there was a lot to take in from the sequence from before. So what it was, you saw the save from Jacques, and that led into what was eventually going to be the goal. But there was also physical activity in the corner and back the other way. You really have to break that one down in its own video, which would take a few minutes.
Yeah, Justin Garlinski and Aiden Klein kind of were going at it a little bit. Wasn't sure what was going to happen there. Hang on, another opportunity. That one rolling. Espinoza tried to make something happen.
Good!
Now it comes back the other way. Sheets has it. But they lost it. Updated shot count is now 19-13 in favor of the Stingrays. So it's been an active second period. Here, 45 seconds left to go. Raiders trying to put a push. Send that one across. Wagner forced to make a stop. On the doorstep, another one turned aside by Wagner. Right in the crease. Stingrays with 30 seconds.
No change.
They get it
No
out,
change.
but it goes for an icing. And Daniel, this is a dangerous situation here late in the second period.
It certainly is, and now the Raiders have turned the tide their way with that shot from behind the goal line. Now, whether this is going to turn into another Raiders goal, still to be seen.
Hey, guys.
But don't count out the Stingrays' speed.
Coletta won the draw. Tried to get a quick shot from the right wing. Goes up and over the net. This one coming down. Hang on a second. You got to hurry.
Down here, no change.
Oh, that is a heartbreaking icing call.
Well, I mean, luckily for the Stingrays, there's only 13 and a half seconds left, but you expend all that energy just trying to chase the ball, and you end up having to come all the way back. You cannot make a change. But this probably won't matter in the end since we're nearing the intermission.
Ooh, you say that. 13.5 to go. Draw one by the Raiders. Now behind the net. Final five are going to... Oh, and it's another icing. 4.5, still on the clock. I don't know, Daniel. You say that. You say maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Well, you only have 4.5 seconds to go. So as long as you lock it down and just take it to intermission,
All right, guys, square up.
they should be fine, but let's see.
Well, thankfully for the Stingrays, they do win the draw. That one sent high, closing out the second period, but Raiders found a response in an unlikely way. It's 1-1. The physicality is picking up. The pace and the intensity has stayed there. I'm really curious if it's going to continue to stay there here into the third period. What are you? Who do you give the advantage to, and who is the team that needs to watch out?
Well, right now, I still have it towards the Stingrays based on how they've been playing. They've been utilizing their speed, and they have had more opportunities at the net. With the Raiders struggling to transition, that's been a big part of it. And now I want to go back into that one
Comes in
sequence
handy
to the
at
Raiders
one call.
goal. Remember that
One call, you
save
could just
from
stand there.
Jacques? That was a huge factor into why this is still a 1-1 game. Had that not happened, we would not be in this
Good job.
situation. And of course, you've got the physicality, which starts in the corner. You heard the
There's a
ref
few guys
shout,
playing a little bit
play
on
the
the
ball,
edge.
play the ball.
Little on the edge.
And then the other end, I thought I saw a hand
Well,
go around
tight
the
game, you
shoulder.
want 'em to play
I
hockey,
mean, there
but if
could
they,
have been
you know.
a call, but they decided to let him play out, and here we are, 1-1.
There was also a sequence with
the game
the
guys keep playing
Raiders
hockey.
late in that period when they were coming back
playing
in, and
hockey.
I saw more
Get the
physicality. A Stingrays player went down, and he looked at the official. The official didn't say anything, so I don't know. These are two really skilled teams. I don't
Good
know
game,
if it's
guys.
going
Keep
to
going.
devolve here.
More period.
Officials just need to make sure that they stay on top of it, but I'm excited to see what happens. This is going to be an action-packed 10 minutes, and we've already had a great game here. Stingrays pushing the Raiders, actually getting the first goal, and both goalies have been great. Wagner's been great. Schock's been great. The speed, the pace,
You
the
can tie the other
intensity.
shoe.
This is the great example of a game that is fun and exciting to watch, even though it's low scoring, because it's high event, it's high chance. There's a lot happening. So expect more to happen here in these last 10, and we're off. This one gets deep in Stingray territory. Sticks come together, and they do manage to get it out, but they can't control it. Raiders walk it back and send it across, but they can't gain the zone. A little bit of a fumbling going on here. Goulet sends it back. Almost gave that one away in front. Raiders gain the zone on the right-hand side and beats his man. Now cuts in, walks in. Oh, great opportunity. Another chance goes high. Raiders coming. That was Garlinski with the first chance. Now coming back around.
Good!
Stingrays gain the line. Sent all the way across ice. They get to it first. Take a shot. Try to feed that one towards Jacques, and he just smothers that one.
And that's going to be his 19th save. And if
Let me
you
know if you need it.
think about it, the second period really did show that the Raiders played better. They've narrowed the shot differential to 5 now. And of course, not forgetting about the goal. But which is the bigger impact, goal itself or the save that led to the goal?
Billy again, Billy.
No, that's a great call. Jacques has been a pillar for them this game. He has been forced to make some tough saves. And this one's going to go down for an icing, and now we're seeing some of that tilt the other direction. The Stingrays get the offensive zone draw with the icing.
The Raiders have got to find a way to stifle the speed of the Stingrays, and for that you need to get into their lanes. But
All right, guys.
once you do that, you can create those turnovers and start transitioning.
I mean, it's tough. The passing from the Stingrays has been very, very on point. A lot of clever behind-the-back moves, and they're connecting with them. Continue to battle for it, and they do end up giving that one away. Worked out by Rara just temporarily.
Good play, good
Goes
play.
down. No call. Stingrays trying to press the advantage, get that one in feet. Henlin. He already has the goal. Wanted to get another one. Back to the point. Stingrays continue to press. Who gets to it first? Bodies come together. They're working the low cycle. Gets that one up to the point.
Six down.
Find the open space, take the shot. Good opportunity there by Marciano. This one's going to come all the way back, but they get to it first, so no icing. Frankie Klein in on the forecheck, but that one sent around him. Guerrera has to work it back into his own end.
It's good.
They try to find some space on the right-hand side to gain the zone, and they do as they go off to make the change. New players coming back out for both teams. Raiders can't control it. Here comes the Stingrays. Gets across. One man takes the shot. Now behind the net.
Good save.
There's a shot and another save by Jacques. In front, turns its shot. Oh, what a save. Pereira was wide open. Another blast. Still held. Walking in. Turn aside again by Jacques. No icing on this play. 3 minutes gone in the third. We are tied at 1. Raiders make a steal and they give it away at the blue line. Stingrays gain the zone. They've got one man back door. Kreitzer's there. Can they find him? They can't find him. Raiders managed to pick this one up, but they're not out of danger yet. Still in their own end. Sends that one high. And just get it in deep for the dump. Sort of deep. Now it's off the half wall. Now it's forced all the way down on the forecheck, and they give it away. But a good defensive stick takes that one away from Garlinski. That one across. Gunned in. That one on net. Jacques thinks about covering, but there's not enough pressure, so he lets it go. This one goes high, gets gloved down. Somebody called for a high stick, but the officials didn't. Raiders still have it. They try to send a sneaky one on Wagner and a quick whistle. Ooh, that was a very quick whistle. That ball was still loose temporarily, but nonetheless, Wagner does hang on.
I think they may be calling the high stick. The question is on who?
Good eye, Daniel. Let's see.
I have a feeling it's going against the Stingrays because they were the last ones that touched it.
Yeah, they've got 4. Raiders have 6. So I don't think they're pulling the goalie with 6 minutes left. Yeah, this will be a Raiders power play. So far, they're perfect on special teams, going 1 for 1 on the PK. Let's see if they can continue that streak.
Right, guys.
Garlinski set up in the circle. Ball controlled by no one currently, still battling for it. Ule. Now he's got it for the Raiders. Finds space, sends it across. Goes all the way. Got to be careful as you're pinching. Back on the near side. Kick back to the point and quarterback by who else but Frank Klein. He takes the shot from way outside. Rebound turned away.
Save again.
Second chance. Third chance. Wagner. It stays out. Pressure's still on. Raiders showing a strong and dangerous power play. That one goes past Ule and comes all the way down.
Good.
Klein helps them gain the zone. On the left wing side, goes down. More pushing and shoving. Oh, but we got a whistle.
97 on a check.
Penalty against the Raiders.
I think
97 check.
I heard.
Oh, no,
97 blue on a
they're
check.
calling a check.
97 blue on a check.
Well, no, they're calling
That's
against
Kanoy.
the Stingrays. We're going to have a 5-on-3.
97
for a few
blue
seconds.
on a check.
Yeah. Wow. This could be huge.
Is that-
Not.
Yeah, because at first I thought it was an interference against the Raiders, but they said no. Yeah, he initiated a check.
5 on
Yeah.
3.
It is 5-on-3 for a few more seconds. This is a huge opportunity. The game can really hinge on this. If you're the Raiders, you gotta win the draw. Sylvain wins it forward.
Good.
And it comes all the way down. And that's it. So 5-on-3 is over, but another minute of power play time. 45 seconds to be specific. As we cross the 5-minute mark here in a 1-1 tied third. Stingrays seemed like they controlled so much of this game and really impressed against the top tier Raiders. But now it could slip away from them if they're not
Still
careful.
good.
Raiders have it. Klein sends it across. Back for Klein. Takes a look, sends it down into the corner. Just trying to stretch out and make some space. Sends that one across. Now they have it behind the net. Ule.
That's good.
And that one doesn't go out. Klein still with it. Sends it across, takes a big shot. Oh, and he fanned on it. Good opportunity for Sylvain. Still with it. Power play almost over. Now it is over. The man out of the box attacking. Wagner having to make a save there. Still power play influenced. That's it. Here come the Stingrays. 2-on-2. Takes the shot. Jock swings at that one. Under 4 minutes to play. Ule tries to toe drag through legs. Ball's loose. Stingrays get back on it. Sends that one diagonally, but didn't hit his man.
Loose. Good ball. Good ball.
Trying to find it. Raiders managed to get it out. Falling. Raiders have it at the blue line. This ball bouncing, swatted out of the air. And chased after by Rarat, but
Good.
Stingrays come back. Nice move to beat his man. On the backhand. Still with it. Behind the net. shot. 3 minutes to play. It's a 1-1 tie. Bodies hit together in the corner. Trying to dispossess that one from Kelly.
No change. No.
And that one goes for an icing.
This is a big opportunity for the Stingrays. So there was some physical activities. There was a big push there. And just great discipline. Well, it was great discipline. He did take a little cross check, but just enough to not draw a call.
Yeah, Aiden Klein has been physically engaged for the Stingrays all game. 2:52 left to go. Offensive zone draw. And that one does end up coming out. And it'll go for an icing, so we'll just reset and do it again.
But yeah, I saw that they had been shoving quite a bit in the previous sequence, and in that time that he did not throw a cross check to the back, but in any case, another big opportunity for the Stingrays to try to break this wide open. They can get a quick draw. They can quickly turn it.
Incredible shot numbers, 25-22, and somehow we are still 1-1. Stingrays. That was Kenny Schmidt who lost that. Now back to it on the far side in front of the Stingray bench. They get it.
Good!
They gain the zone along the far side. Trying to generate some offense. Schmidt is there. Behind the net. Back in for help is Barrera. Back up to the point and held by Schmidt. Now he's going to charge in. And he wanted to hit him on the rush. Couldn't make it go, but he's still there. They hold at the point. Now it comes out. And this one's not going to go for icing, so you got to move quick. Frankie Klein was right there. He's been tenaciously forechecking all game.
Good!
There's a move. Hamlin turns up. Looking for help. Sends it back down on the cycle as he cuts to the net. Behind Jacques.
Nope.
Tries to get that one in front. Hamlin's on it first. Minute 20 left to go. To the point. Takes the shot. That one bounced just wide. Tried to get that one to Hamlin. He couldn't stop it. Now it comes all the way back and it's a foot race. Ule in pursuit. This one comes up.
Good!
Barrera gains the zone. It's that one on net and covered by Jacques.
Lost sight of it.
Jacques is going to try to slow
No, I
down
lost
the
sight of it
play
for
as the Stingrays have just been in firm control of the second half of this period despite the 5-on-3.
You guys have a time.
It looks like a timeout's
You
going
guys
to get
gonna
called.
take it or what?
Well, the official's actually asking if they want to take it.
And
Yeah,
they will.
they will. I think looking at Jacques, on the strength of his 26th save of the game, these guys are gassed. They've been playing at such a high pace all game.
Now what rule are we going to?
No, I'm trying to.
Like I said, the Stingrays' speed has just been running them all over the place.
I want to say, didn't last year they played the 3
They
minutes?
need to try to
4?
slow
Or
them
am I
down. And
thinking
like I
of-
said, this is where getting into
I'll go with
their
it.
lanes is going to be advantageous for them. You don't need to be aggressive to them. You just need to buy some time for your team to catch up.
4-on-4, I think.
But at
I don't
the
think
same
you play
time,
3-on-3 in here.
The Raiders,
Just like NHL.
they've
Wow.
had some chances at the net. But again, the transition, the Stingrays are just so agile that
Keep
their
going.
lanes just close quickly.
There you see, they're discussing with the coach what
They
the
haven't
plan
told
is.
us that in the NBHL that
Got
they
about a
they
minute
adopted
left
that
on the
rule.
clock.
But that's tournament play. This is.
Yeah, I agree. I think the
I wish
Stingrays
they
are
would keep
very,
it.
very
We need to
impressive.
keep it universal.
And definitely weathered the storm here
They
in the
did.
third period. Killing those 2 penalties was huge, because that was a very dangerous power play by the Raiders. They
Yeah,
just
but we
couldn't
still got a
get
minute
one
left.
past Wagner. This has been not the matchup that I was expecting. It has been, honestly, significantly tighter, significantly more exciting one. But that's why you can't judge it just on paper. I think this was probably very surprising for the Raiders, but I think the Stingrays, this is the answer that they wanted after dropping their first game 6-1 to the Hornets. This could potentially be a huge win, especially if they manage to get it in regulation. Minute up on the clock, third period, we're tied at 1. Raiders win the draw in their defensive end. Flip that one up high, and they get in behind the D and beat the icing. Tries to get that one in front for Ule. Now along the near side, Garlinski sends it in deep. Chased after. Ule's going to get to it first. They hold the zone, but can't get that one to Wagner. Now with 30 seconds left to go, Stingrays with a chance.
Good!
They get in the line, but give it away. And they keep it in, though. And now they give it away. Raiders again pushing. And that one just a hair offside with 13 seconds left to go. And it's feeling like we may be headed to overtime.
And if I'm the Raiders, that is not what I want, considering what they've been through with the Stingrays, because it's 3-on-3, and that gives the Stingrays even more room to work with, and you don't want to deal with that speed in that situation. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm attacking right now.
That's a great point. Yeah, I definitely think that the 3-on-3 format would favor them. But we'll see. Final 6 seconds to go. And that is going to do it. We are going to overtime. So already a 2-1 finish. Not what I was expecting out of this one. But here we go. It's going to be a 2-1 finish. Stingrays very, very impressive in their sophomore game of this 2022 campaign.
Should say on there.
And just as I was mentioning, the Stingrays had the advantage in this period because of their speed.
And after it's shootout.
For the Raiders to counter it, they need to have some speed of their own.
The whole game's been
And for
stopped,
that,
so
I would think that they would just need one turnover to turn it their way and break it wide open for
the rules
them.
don't say
I
if
think
it's a
that
running
is the
clock.
Oh,
one way
definitely.
that the
Stop
Raiders can still turn it in overtime.
Absolutely.
Stop
Yeah,
clock.
there's make no mistake. The Raiders played an excellent game here, and Billy Jacques, for me anyway, is
Stop clock.
my personal front runner for MVP right now because he's
Playing
been
a stop clock.
standing on his head
3
this
minutes.
entire game.
3-on-3.
But I mean, we don't know. Somebody's going to be the hero here. Will it be in 3-on-3 overtime, or will it go to the shootout? I don't know. But we've got 3 minutes, 3 players aside, 3 goals in this game. The third one just hasn't happened yet.
I got it.
Looks like we're having a bit of an equipment issue.
And the Stingrays are sending Josh Hamlin out. He's the only goal scorer for the Stingrays, so it's not surprising that he's out there.
Justin Garlinski, he's out there along with Klein. Garlinski's had a great game for the Raiders. See some sportsmanship at center ice. You love
I
that.
got it.
And here we go. 3 minutes of 3-on-3, and Klein has it.
I'm not the right person to ask today.
The 48-year-old captain just showing that he can play with these young boys just as much as anybody. Got to be exciting for him to have his 15-year-old son on the team as well, as you mentioned that earlier.
Good.
Here come the Stingrays. First 30 seconds are gone. Hamlin chasing after this one. Raiders still possessing, though. Garlinski, player goes down, and they're gonna call it. Oh no, it's 4-on-3.
This is interesting.
Are they?
Because
are they
we've been
calling
seeing
this
a
or
lot
not?
of slipping and sliding today. In fact,
What
his
is it?
shoe came off.
Oh, you got him? Who's got it? Justin, 36?
Oh, they are gonna call Garlinski.
4 on
That's what it
3.
sounds like.
Let's see, where is the play to the
36
stick?
white for trip.
I may have to have another
There-
look at that one.
They're calling it a trip, but ooh, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, but it is gonna stand. Minute on the clock, 2:19 to go in overtime, and the Stingrays have a 4-on-3 power play. This is huge. Daniel, is this the game?
If the speed comes into play for the Stingrays, this may be over, but you never know. They've already had plenty of opportunities on the power play.
Good.
McKee gets it out, so that's a huge clear. Stingrays are going to need to find something here. They've got a 4-on-3 power play in overtime. They gain the zone, send it back. D to D. Schmidt sends it across, walks in, back to the corner, takes a shot, big save by Jacques. Can they get it out? Stingrays still have it at the point. They do still have it. Sends it back, has to look for it, finds it. Takes the shot, save, back, in front. Ooh, I can't clear it. Sends it across. Oh no! What a stop! Unbelievable! And that is going to do it for the power play as well.
You get that with
So
the
we
stick?
go 4-on-4 temporarily now until a stoppage. This one's sent in. 27th save by Jacques, but it's not over. Takes the shot, looks behind him. Ah! Just missed the net. Final minute of overtime. To the point. Another shot goes wide. 29 saves and counting for Jacques. Behind the net, and he goes down. No call. Sends it across, all in front. Takes another shot, another save. Jams at it, and it stays out. Billy Jacques shuts the door.
Did that hit his stick? He was down and out. There's the shot. Where's the rebound? Cover it up, and that is going to be a Yankee Doodle Dandy save.
Is it easy to add 1
And
second?
we may have an injury
Or can
with
you hold it for a
Jacques.
second? Yeah, because it ran past the whistle a little bit.
This could be huge. He has been fighting. Jacques and Klein obviously go way back. The captain checking on his goaltender, but the man also checking on his friend.
He's up and just trying to see if he's still ready to go.
They're going to hold the
I
clock.
mean,
for a
that
second.
is really
ran
putting your
past
body
the
on the
whistle.
line to save the game.
I looked up and I was at like 44.5.
Yeah.
30 saves for number 30. What a performance he's had. Gonna gather himself. Officials just making sure that he's okay.
Hey, back to 3-on-3.
So we return to 3-on-3 for these final 43.4 seconds. Players obviously worried about the well-being of their goaltender, who is, I mean, let's face it, he is the #1 reason why this game is still going.
And that's even more reason why the Raiders have got to end the game now,
I
because
think it's on this.
because after 43 seconds it goes to shootout, and they don't want to put him through more than what he has already been through.
Here, Jim?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Here you see Klein and Silverne, along with Garlinski.
All right, guys.
Klein and Little are out there for the Stingrays. 43.4 to go.
Woo! Play it.
Draw. Control
Right
by
here,
the
right
Raiders.
here.
But it ends up out of play, and we'll reset and try it again. You heard the frustration from Garlinski. That's not what he
Not
meant to do.
necessarily bad, it just means more rest time for Jacques in the net.
I mean, it's rest for the Stingrays, too. And they try to win that one forward. Klein gets to it first, and he turns off his man. There's space. Klein takes a look. He just walks this one in. Tries to get this one, drops the shoulder. Now he's behind the net. He's got Silverne. He hits Silverne, takes the shot. That one goes wide of Wagner. Garlinski gets to it first. Klein keeps it in. They tumble. No penalty on that play. Klein and Little got tangled up. And hang on! Walking in! In overtime! Oh, what a stop! With the buzzer! Bill Shock! Get out of town!
Shootout.
Chris, I want you to say this with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yankee Doodle Dandy. That is the save of the year.
Unbelievable! What a pass! Let's watch it again.
3-man shootout. I think the home team maybe gets the choose.
Phenomenal.
You want to go second?
Kreitzer denied at the buzzer. We go to the shootout.
They're going to go second. Come on, guys.
I guess that,
They're going to go second. You guys shoot first.
yeah, I know, right? Unbelievable. This game refuses to end. We go to the shootout. And take nothing away from Wagner. He's got 23 saves,
sure
22
they stay in the
saves, something
crease.
like that. He still had a
They
great
can't
game.
move until the whistle.
But wow. To the shootout we go.
Looks like the Raiders are going to shoot first.
Can't see a number.
You all right? Great save, brother. You know the drill on these things, so.
Let's take a look. I believe that's John Kelly.
It's Narski.
Oh, it is 98.
Oh, it is
It's
here.
Ouellet. Shane Ouellet walks in. Makes the first move, beats Wagner and scores easily. With confidence, and just like that, the Raiders are in the driver's seat for the first time this game.
Yeah, this is about making the first move and draws Wagner down and leaves a wide open net for him to score on.
He got stuck doing the splits. Now they answer with Hamlin. He's got the goal. They scored early, but weren't able to solve Jacques since, so they go to the guy who did it. Confidently strolling up to the slot. Makes a move! And a save! Tries to go 5-hole and can't do it.
That's the kind of game that Jacques has had all day long. And again, this comes down to patience. He stays up in the butterfly and forces Hamlin to make the first move.
Miles Silverne up for the Raiders now.
Don't worry, he knows what to do.
Ball won't settle, but doesn't seem like it matters. They get the whistle, and here comes Silverne. Zigzagging. Gets to the slot. Makes the move! Oh, did that go? I couldn't tell.
Let's see. It looks like he had gotten him. No, it got the stick of Wagner. No goal.
Wow. Huge save. I think it may have gone a little high, but nonetheless, 1-0 Raiders in the shootout. Stingrays second chance. And they go to Barrera. Gabe Barrera takes the shot, scores! We're tied at 1.
Barrera was one of the top shooters for the Dolphins last season, and this is why. Sniper shot beats him 5-hole this time, and we're going to go to a third round.
Brutal. Raiders have got to score here. Justin Garlinski put the pressure on the Stingrays. And here comes Garlinski. Walks in. Oh, almost lost it!
He lost control for a moment, but does he get a second breath? hard to
I
tell.
still
I'm
can't
looking-
tell. We're trying to get word. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Nonetheless, Stingrays.
Crazy.
Stingrays have got to score. Klein. Walk again. Next move. Backhand. And that one stays out. Well, there's no celebration, so that tells me that Wagner did somehow manage to keep Garlinski's shot out.
This is going to go down as one of the classics. I guarantee you that. So now we're
Round
going to
4.
extra rounds.
There's the whistle. And they go to Frankie Klein, the 15-year-old. Oh! And he just lost control of it. You hate to see it.
I mean, he's very young and he still has a lot of time to develop his skills, but this happens to even the best players, so...
You love the confidence of the kid, though.
Yeah.
But now it comes down to this. Round 4. They need another big save from Jacques, where the Stingrays take it. Waiting for the whistle. Here they go. Kenny Schmidt makes the move!
No!
And it stays out! Wow!
It looked like for a moment that Schmidt thought he had that one, but no, it caught the stick, and we're going to round 5.
I thought he had it too. So round 5 it is. Since we're past 3 rounds, you can go back to previous players, so it's Ule again. And he does the same move and scores the same way. Raiders back in control.
I mean, how do you fall for the same thing twice? I mean, it's just that good of a move.
So he's got 2 in the skills competition. Stingrays need a goal or it's over. So they go back to Barrera. And it may just be Ule and Barrera. Okay, Barrera. Makes the move. No goal! It's out! Billy Jacques and the Chicago Raiders take this one.
In what is going to be remembered for a long time, one last save from Jacques to seal it for the Raiders in a hard-fought win and a much-deserved one. But the Stingrays, I have been just as equally impressed.
A huge come-from-behind win in a game that the Raiders were definitely favored. They even dropped the lead, and they don't lead at all until it comes to the shootout, and the Stingrays come back again. But I'm sorry, Daniel, I'm calling it. Bill Jacques the MVP of that one.
Yeah, I didn't need to say anything. That was quite obvious. This was hands down one of the best performances and probably save of the year. I know it's early, but I think that this is the one.
That glove was incredible. With seconds left in overtime, robs it, steals it, saves the game, wins the game. Bill Jacques with a legendary goaltending performance. And the Chicago Raiders showing why they are one of the teams to beat in this division. But you gotta give it up for the Stingrays. What an awesome performance. I am really looking forward to watching this team. If they can play with that kind of speed, intensity, and pace, they are definitely a team to watch out in this division.
I mean, it does put them down to 0-2, but the record does not tell the whole story. Their speed has been a big difference, and it shows in this game. They competed that far with the Raiders all the way to the shootout. This is a diamond in the rough. It's one of these teams where they could be a sleeper. They are a dangerous team, and this game alone proves it. So keep an eye out for them. They're just as dangerous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic game. And guess what? We're not done. We've got one more for you in the first half of our triple-double header. We've got the Chicago Hornets and the Chicago Southsiders. The Southsiders were the team that was really kings of this division last year. Raiders proving why they want to be that #1 team. We know Frank Klein, director of the Chicago division, says he thinks his team can hang with anybody. But now we get to see what the Southsiders can do. And think about this. The Hornets beat the Stingrays 6-1 last week. What kind of a performance are we going to see here?
If it was the same performance from the Stingrays that we saw today, this could tell a big story about how the Hornets are going to be this season. And keep in mind that this is the former Dolphins, which they were around mid-tier. They were a young team that were still developing. But if that's the case, this is a tremendous jump. So this will be their big test. Are they that good? Are they good enough to beat the defending Chicago champions? And there's quite a lot of names that they're going to have to get past. So we'll have to wait and see.
Not the least of which being brand new, newly minted USA men's national team player, Eddie Urban. Just announced today that he made the team. Huge, huge, huge for them. Wonder if it'll create some sort of a salary cap controversy because that would make him more expensive. But nonetheless, this stacked Southsiders team just gets a little bit more of that love as Eddie Urban officially named to the U.S. men's national team. Congratulations to Eddie and the Southsiders.
And
with a
funny thing that you mentioned about his salary cap. I mean, for those who don't know, the salary cap is based on tournament experiences, and this definitely adds to his value. And we have to look up and see how. I don't think that this is going to put them over the cap because I think they've had they were well under, but this could make things interesting in the off season when the time comes for the Southsiders, because this could force them to make some moves. So what are they going to do to try to keep Urban in their lineup? But that's down the road. But right now, they got to focus on defending their championship.
Yeah, and they've already started well. They took the Belmont Heights Kings down 2-1 in their first game last week. So now we've got them facing off against the Hornets in the third of our triple header today. But don't forget, if you're watching with us live, we're going to be in New England tomorrow in the second half of our triple double header. So be excited for some of those teams. In the meantime, the final game here, Hornets and Southsiders. Again, I think on paper you say the Southsiders are probably the team to beat. They were the defending champions. But after what happened last game, and after knowing that the Hornets took down the Stingrays so badly, I'm not counting anybody out of this.
and yeah, keep in mind the Southsiders, that the 2-1 win, it was closer than expected with the Kings. So this makes the Chicago division wide open.
Just continues to prove that wherever the next Milik champion is going to be can come from anywhere. In the meantime, we're underway. Southsiders on your left, Hornets on your right.
No.
This one picked up by Tim Comperda. Sends that one forward. But they can't get it out of the zone. Southsiders pressuring quickly. And they do have it in the offensive zone. Oh, goes down. Doesn't look like there's going to be a call. Oh, maybe there is. We got a whistle.
27 slashing.
Oh, they are going to call it.
27 slashing.
So we're going to get
on
an early
Tim
power
Sitar.
play.
27 slash.
It's going to go against the Hornets, against Tim Sitar, the current points leader of the team.
He's got 2 goals and an assist.
27 slashing.
Mark Ferenga also with 3 points, a goal and 2 assists. And Matt Kandra with 2 goals. So, again, a lot of goal scoring in that game against the Stingrays. But Southsiders have the main advantage here. The officials for this game, Chris Frederick and James Brill. Southsiders walk that one along the point. That's a nice shot turned aside by Bittner. Now they have it behind the net. Still in control. About halfway through this power play. Sends that one across. Underneath. And sent around. Hornets try to get to it first, and they can't. Now they've got it. Just want to get the clear.
Out! Out! Out!
Yep, that one does come out, so the players have to tap up. And they do. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Tried to make a move, but had 2 defensemen to beat and couldn't do it. Humperta sends it around. Still can't get it out. Southsiders still with it. Trying to get that one towards Bittner. We are even strength, so they get the kill to the Hornets, but now they got to get out of trouble. And that one goes high.
Hand! Good.
Now they're good. Breaking in. Nice read there by Sitar. On the attack, tries to get past his defender and can't. Sitar has it now. He sends it in deep. 2 minutes gone here. First period, scoreless. Coming all the way back down. Collected by Gleason. Joey Gleason sends that across. Tries to get around. And does. Battling for it behind the net. Hornets looking to generate their first bit of offense of this game. Sends that one to the point. Takes a shot. Digging at it. Trying to get that one through Tobias. Oh! Players go down in a heap. No call there. Looks like it was just incidental. They left it behind. Hornets still have it, facing a lot of pressure from a speedy Southsiders team that calls a turnover. That one bouncing in feet. Bittner, where is it? They hang on.
That was
see Danielle
quite a
Stroheimer in on the
collision.
forecheck.
It was
Sorry.
quite a collision on the other corner. I think they just got entangled up, and it just looked worse than it actually was.
I do want to draw attention to the forechecking of Danielle Stroheimer. This is a co-ed league, and the Chicago Southsiders, which is again one of the best teams in Tier 2, sporting 3 women on their roster. Stroheimer, Larissa Cernis, and Eileen Messler. So, just goes to show you that they can play with anybody. And make no mistake, they are significant contributors. A little bit of a trip there. No call. Play continues. Hornets looking for something here. 6:40 of the first period. Tries to get inside. Good defensively. They get to it. And now with D. Tries to split the D. Send that one up the middle, but can't. Now in the corner. Working this one up the wall. Sends it down. Can't control it. Blocked. Hornets have it again. Still scoreless here. Just about 4 minutes gone in the first period. Team's playing pretty conservatively, especially compared to the speed of the last game. Hang on, here's an opportunity, and that one takes the shot. They score!
Southsiders
What do you got?
picking up where they left off.
Chris, what is it?
Was thinking about driving the
69
net, but
from 9.
decides to drop it right
69
back
from
to
9.
Scott Morgan, one of the better players in the Chicago division. That's something you got to watch out for. A dangerous shooter in the high slot.
There you go.
Who assisted the Carpenter on that one? None other than Eddie Urban. So 2 dangerous Southsider weapons coming together here to give them a lead early in the first. This ball bouncing around now down into the corner. That one picked up by Stroheimer. She leaves it for her partner. Jousting for it there. Trying to come away with it. Sends it around the other side, and they lose it to the Hornets.
Foul!
Nice stick there actively. Breaks that play up. Hornets will have to regroup and try again to gain the zone. And another fall. We've seen a couple of those today. Stroheimer takes a look and sends it across. There's a shot that catches Bittner up high, and he hangs on.
What's going on, Wade?
A good push by the Southsiders. Deacon around one and in triple coverage. Everyone just pitching right in on one shooter. Interesting strategy by the Hornets to get aggressive on the ball carrier.
Congrats, bud. Here we go.
Now they take the offensive zone draw for the Southsiders, and they do come away with it. Send that one back to the point with a quick shot. Handles that one. Try to keep to the outside. Irvin turns up and takes a look. That one coming back around. Now behind the net, turning. Urban tries to make a move. Now picked up by Kill, but he can't get out. Sent back. Couldn't connect, and another fall. No call on that one either. 4.5 to go. First period, Southsiders leading 1-0 on the strength of a Scott Worgan goal, assisted by newly minted U.S. national team member Eddie Urban.
Still good.
Down, but not all the way. And the Hornets really struggling to get out of their zone here. Saw a little bit more offense from them in the early going. Matt Kandra can't settle that one. Goes 3 feet. Now they pick it up and gain the zone. Driving wide, taking a look. Got 2 players in front. Tried to send that one on the backhand. Just goes up the gut to nowhere. Sending all the way across. Morgan makes the shot. Now he's going to drive in. Behind the net. Getting pressured by Kill. Calvin Kill manages to dispossess, and the Hornets have it. That one giveaway in front! Turn save! Big save by Bittner. Still under pressure. Nevin. For his team, they cycle down low. Tries to get that behind the net. Can't. A lot of pressure. Hornets really trying to keep Southsiders to the outside. They get it to the point. Flip that one forward. On the backhand, that one goes wide. 3:10 left to play. Hornets under a lot of pressure right now. They pick it up on the near side. Send it in deep and chase after it. Patty Gleason. Gleason coming back in after it and can't pick it up. And that one goes down for icing. So the Hornets will actually get an opportunity here offensively.
And that was a big opportunity by the Southsiders taking advantage of the turnover, but Bittner just
Jeremy.
stands up and does
Jeremy.
what he needs to do as a goalie, and
Jeremy.
just to make those crucial saves.
I need the talking to stop.
Wade
Okay.
Bittner only giving up 1 goal so far this season. And that one being the second now against him. Trying to send that one in. Of course, Ray Tobias for the Southsiders also only giving up 1 goal so far this season. That one sent from way outside and handled by Tobias.
The Hornets trying to turn the tide as they've been stuck in their zone for quite a while. But at the same time, there hasn't really been that many shots on net at this stage of the period. 4-3 in favor of the Hornets.
It has definitely been a very defensive game. Not necessarily what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that last game to be what it was either, so what do I know? As this one fumbled, here come the Southsiders. Strohmeyer picks it up. Danielle Strohmeyer walking up the wall, under double coverage. Sends that one into the slot, almost given away.
Out!
Still attacking, a little bit of neutral zone difficulty. They gain the zone. He leaves it behind at the blue line. Now they get it in deep. Try to pick it up behind. There's Urban pressing in defensively, showing that he can work on both sides of the ice. And do manage to get it out. Yes, they do. They
No!
make a change. No icing, so. Oh,
I waved it off.
that was just a miscommunication between the officials.
I did yell it. I did.
You're
fine.
going to take it to center because of the mistake, but you just heard the ref said, oh, I waved it off, so a mistake, so we'll take it to center.
Yeah, they're
We didn't
human.
bitch enough. We made a mistake, so it's at center ice.
Southsiders control. Now come in. Had a chance there. Ball just got away from him. Sending this one across to the point. Kramer takes a shot that's covered by Bittner.
Another big save there, and something to try to turn the tide for the Hornets. We already mentioned the Southsiders
Here we
have
go.
quite a bit of dangerous players on the team, including a few ladies there, which we'll talk about in just a moment.
Under a minute and a half to go here in the first period. Southsiders still up 1-0. A little bit of a stumble. They hold it at the line, take a shot, all alone in front! What a play! It is
Scott,
2-0.
Scott.
Couple of things
Jeremy.
here. First off,
He's got
good
it.
pass,
You know
season
it.
opening. How did
He's
he
gotta
get
stop.
so
If he says one more thing, I'm
right
putting him in the
front
box.
of the goalie?
Okay.
That is going to be one of the easier ones that he's going to get.
Hey, who got that? Hey, who got? Hold on. Scotty got it. 6 from you. You gave it to him? Okay.
They're arguing about who that was. Was it Urban and Morgan again? Well, nonetheless, here come the Southsiders again! Makes a play! Scores!
Pretty sure it's 9
Urban
all day.
definitely got that one, and look
Pretty
out,
sure
it's
it's 9
3-0.
all day. Eddie all day, yeah, 9.
And it's a bang play, breakaway, and
Okay.
makes this one a no-doubter.
Unassisted, right?
Gets Bittner to bite, and the Southsiders take a 3-0 lead early.
10.7 to go in the first, and oh, I'm sorry, minute 7 left to go in the first. But still, the game's starting to get away
Oh,
from the
boy.
Hornets. They just not had a lot of sustained zone pressure. Now we're in under a minute. Behind the net. Someone lost a stick, and they gave a shove. Oh, it's Sitar. He's not happy. And here's another opportunity for the Southsiders. Takes the shot, scores! And it's 4-0.
Oh boy, this is getting ugly. Is right down the middle, and Scott Morgan does it again. 4-0 in the first.
69 all day.
Hornets have got to
69
find a
all
way
day.
to get control.
Southsiders showing with their star powers leading the way.
Hopefully that's on
Two
the
of the
internet. That'd be
biggest
funny.
guns
Here we go.
in the division are just taking this game over right now. Still got about 40 seconds left here in the first, and the Hornets just trying to stop the bleeding. They do control along the near side at the hash mark, send it back up to the point. And they kick it down behind the net, behind Tobias. Trying to box out the defender. With Williams. Gets some help, but maybe a little late. Now he sends it to the opposite corner. He's getting pressed in there by Cernus. Behind the net, and they score! The Hornets answer with seconds left.
They needed something, and they are going to
86 from
finally
27.
get one on the board that'll at least stop the bleeding, but they still got a ways to go, and they really need to have a discussion at the intermission, but nonetheless, it's a step in the right direction.
Liam
6 seconds here,
Paz
boys.
with the goal. Tim Sitar with the assist. 6 seconds left in the period, and they do manage to stop the bleeding indeed. That'll do it for that first period, but boy, Daniel, the pressure coming from the big stars of the Chicago Southsiders.
We already talked a lot about Scott Morgan, Eddie Urban.
Wait.
Those are two you
I
absolutely
haven't
have to
heard you
cover.
say anything.
And
I know,
they
but
had
Don't retaliate
breakaways,
or don't egg 'em on,
point-blank
all right?
chances.
They got a warning too, so just
The Hornets need to play closer to the net. They need to protect Bittner. because he is getting hung out to dry out there. But they did get the goal.
No, it's
They're starting.
well,
They're starting to turn things around. So now they
and he was
need to
going
build
at it, and he
momentum
could
out
have
of it.
stopped it, and then he went and peeled off, and that's when I waved it. I know, that's when I waved it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they needed to stop the bleeding. They did. We've seen plenty of times in this league, intermission can change everything. So it really depends on what version of the Hornets is going to come out here in the second. I think they looked pretty decent
more
early
towels?
on, but once
That's the only one we got.
Urban and Morgan
Let me grab.
started getting their mojo going, it got away from them a little bit. I'm hoping for them that this goal and then the end of the period is exactly what they need to reset the tempo, breathe. We know they can score. Like I said, they've got at least 3 multi-point players,
Oh, my foot.
and they've only
My stick
had
in
the
my
one
foot was
game.
right there, and it went off.
We know that they're capable
I
of
know.
scoring.
My first
And
reaction
now
was,
we
please,
know they're
I was
capable
like,
of
my
beating
foot was sitting
Tobias.
still, so I didn't move it.
I think they need to find
I'm
an
like, I
answer
kicked it in.
to the pressure and just sort of relax and find their rhythm again, because this
I
game is
don't
far
know.
from over. We've still got 20 minutes to play.
Hey, we played better than we did last week, I think. What's up, Alan? What's up,
Team
Alan?
switch sides and are lining
I know,
up. 10
dude.
minutes
And
up
I
on the
played the
clock.
first one
Second
and
period
after that,
underway
I'm like,
here.
fucking-
Chicago Southsiders leading 4-1 over the Hornets.
I know, it's all for fun, right?
Making sure the goalies are ready, and they are.
Here we go. Oh,
And
fuck, you're good.
there's the first draw, and that one won back by the Hornets.
Oh, my bad. My
Bounce
bad.
pass off the
Terrible
end board.
position.
It's a good idea. Referee gets in the way and immediately tries to get out of the way. Picked up by the Hornets. Stringing together a couple of passes here. They gain the zone. Trying to walk this one in.
No!
Sliding! Oh! Fought off by Tobias, but what an awesome opportunity for the Hornets here early in the period. Outsiders come back. Including Southsiders players. Hornets got a positive start. Didn't go in, but they got one of
Still
the best
good,
chances
still good.
of the game for them. Held at the line by Urban. He takes a shot from way outside and scores.
No
Are
idea
you
how
joking?
it made it through everybody.
And guess who? It's Eddie Urban. All the way from the point. They're scoring point blank from the point. What are the Hornets to do?
Who'd you get that from?
It's
Even
crazy.
from
Who'd
back
you get that
there,
from?
that's quite a distance.
No, it's 9 from 92. 9 from 92.
Unreal. Marcinkowski gets the assist. But Eddie Urban celebrating the news, apparently. Getting added to the men's U.S. national team. A huge honor, and he's showing us here why. Nice cutback. Gets around 2 players. And then runs into... Oh, man, the stick work here is unbelievable. Bodies now coming together. Southsiders get away from pressure. And they come back on the attack. 8:40 left to go here, second period. Looking into the middle. Charging behind the net. Left it behind. Hornets on it first.
Icing.
And they missed the breakout pass. So that one goes all the way down for icing.
Is there?
Yeah, this is about the time where you need to talk to your team and try to remember what your assignments are. Just stay close to your check. We've already given them a lot of space, so they need to take that space away.
Then again, when you look at that last Urban goal, sure, he had space, but he was practically at the red
Yep.
line. So how do you defend that? He takes the draw and wins it for the Southsiders. They get it back to the point. Sent that one through, and that one didn't miss by much. Bouncing off the end boards. Hornets sliding. Can't control that. Chased back into their own end. 8 minutes to go, second period. They're getting outshot 10-6, but they're getting outscored 5-1. As a far cry from their game against the Stingrays. Southsiders collected in their own end and send it back up. Gain the zone and cut back. Manages to hold the line. Does Urban. Kicks that one over to Jeremy Morgan. He tries to make a move, but gives it away. Hang on now. Hornets with a chance. Rushing in. Has to pull back. And they can't control. For a second, it looked like we were going to have a 2-on-1, but they couldn't connect with it.
Nope.
Now on the near side, just sent in. Chased after by Isaac Nevin. Nevin on the forecheck. Pressuring. And the Southsiders control. They go D to D. Along the hash marks and gobbled up by Hornets players. They gain the zone. Compadre had to stop up a little bit. Now he parks himself in front of the net. They can't quite control it, but they do have it up the point. Takes a quick shot.
Out!
And that one comes all the way out. Oh. We got a whistle.
And not quite clear what the whistle is for. I mean, the Hornets have been trying to push back, but well, yeah, we're going to get a penalty against Oregon.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he is going to go. So this is an opportunity for the Hornets here with 6:41 to go, second period, and a 4-goal deficit. They line up.
Here you go.
Draw one and controlled by the Southsiders. They get it up but not out, held by Gleason. They then went across, pressed against in the boards.
Play the puck! Get the puck
Calvary
out!
comes in for help.
Get the puck out!
Referees want to make sure that they're focused on the puck. Now 4 Hornets players, and that is just going to do it. Eric Krasich, one of the Southsiders that was locking that up.
You guys having a party in here? Sticks are up shirts and
Absolutely
everything?
the time that the
Jeez.
Hornets have got to take
Come on.
advantage on this power play. I mean, even though
Y'all
that is a
collectively
big
decide to
hill
take
to
a break
climb,
for a
they
second?
need that first step, and they need to do it in this period.
Here you go.
And this one won again by the Southsiders. Under pressure. Got to try to get it out. 3 Hornets converge, and they do manage to get the steal. Come out from behind the net. Kicks it back to the point. Trying to take advantage of the extra space. Southsiders doing a really good job of containing and keeping them to the outside, not giving them much to shoot at. This one comes all the way back down. Not much time left with the extra attacker. They just send that one into Tobias and look for the face-off, and they'll get it. Maybe
As I
one
was
more
talking about
chance
it.
with...
I was talking about a moment ago, 3 ladies on the Southsiders. You have Eileen Messlar, Larissa Cernis, and Danielle Strohmeyer. Just a reminder, everybody, we do have a women's division which will be starting in May, starting in the DC
There you go.
division on May 14th.
But these women showing that they can handle the play with the men. And again, on one of the best teams in Tier 2. Southsiders managed their successful penalty kill. 5.5 to go, second period. And now they go right back to the attack. They have it behind the net. Tries to spring their man in front. Actually, I think it might have been Strohmeyer. She had a good look. Now charging down is Josh Kramer. They lost it. Hornets still have it. They gain the zone. Sitar backs off. Still has it. Doesn't get the shot away. That one, I believe that went down for icing.
You saw that they were trying to drive through to the net, but he got caught up in that double team. He needs a little extra support, and those lanes are just not there for him. So if he can get a little more support up front, they'll get some more options to the net.
Southsiders win the draw again. Here at the halfway mark of the game, they lead this one comfortably 5-1. And it has been the Eddie Urban and Scott Wargan show. We know these guys are studs, and of course, if you missed the breaking news, Eddie Urban just today officially named to the U.S. men's national team. Very exciting. They'll be competing this summer. But in the meantime, he's trying to lead his Chicago Tier 2 division team to a Milet Cup. They're already off to a 1-0 start, and they want to build on that. And there he is. Oh, it's a delayed penalty. So they've got the empty net. Urban runs it all the way back and is comfortable killing some clock and getting some bonus time here on the power play. 6-on-5. No real pressure from the Hornets. Now they start to get the ball moving a little bit. Very comfortable here. That one almost gets away, picks it back up, kicks it out into the middle.
You touched it.
They're going to count that, I guess, as possession off of Calvin Kill.
You're going to. No, you're going. You're going.
Well, we're going to get 2 penalties. I think the power play's just been canceled out.
Scotty.
Fuck off.
You're going you.
Oh, he's got to be careful here.
Scotty.
There's no way you're calling that. I'll never do it. You just got. I'll look
And this is already going to be his second.
my fucking life. You're a fucking pussy. No, that's not on me. That's on him. He wants to come and talk to me.
Unsportsmanlike on 69.
And he gets an unsportsmanlike.
4-on-4.
Which is really not what you'd expect from a player with the number of 69.
4-on-4. Drop the center.
A little bit of bad humor there. So we'll go 4-on-4. We'll see if the Hornets benefit from the extra space. Southsiders win the draw. Quick shot for the Hornets! Good opportunity. Saved by Tobias. Hornets trying to show they're not out of this game yet. 3.5 to go. Working it behind the net, but there's just not a whole lot of space out there. Really good defending. Really strong defending by the Southsiders, and here they come the other way with speed. And who else? It's Urban. Feathers one through! What a pass! Bittner made the save. That's almost one of those examples of a pass that's so good, you've got to be extra skilled because it's not easy to pick up.
But yeah, the Hornets, they do have that opportunity to get the pressure on, but again, it's just that the Southsiders have just been so overpowering on their offense, and same thing on the back check as they have been cutting off their lanes too. They just have not had any clean opportunities to the net.
3 minutes left to go here. Second period, 5-1 Southsiders leading. Hornets have had a couple decent opportunities here. Tobias shut the door, but as we often see, the issue is that sustained pressure. Just not having it is very challenging to stay in a game if you're only relying on opportunistic goals. Bittner directing traffic as this one comes in. That one rolling through the feet. Southsiders still with it. 2.5 now to play. Sends across to the point with a big shot. They make the save. Hornets control. And Lane's starting to get shut down right away. Can they even get into the zone? No, they can't. And here come the Southsiders again with speed. That one left behind. Bodies come together. Bittner. I think that went in. Yeah, oh yeah, that one went in. And it's 6-1.
Yeah, not looking good for the Hornets.
Oh, maybe not.
And yeah, I don't believe that went in, but
No, I guess not.
the Hornets in any case, again, they have got to try to seal up the low slot. This is where all those opportunities are coming from for the Southsiders, like that.
Another big scramble and a save by Bittner.
I mean, this is by no means on Bittner. I mean, he has just had no support in front.
Well, and it just feels like a little bit of being outclassed by these high-end players. I mean, some of these guys are playing like Tier 1 players. That one goes up and out. And it will come back for icing with 1:44 to go here in the second.
If it's not like reaching, if they like go to play it and give up on it, then I'm gonna wave it off.
Well,
That's why I waved off the one over here that
offensive zone draw,
Chris
but
still called an icing.
being down 4, that's a lot to ask for as we get close to the second intermission.
Well, they got one late in the first. See if they can do it
All right,
again. There's
you
a
good?
shot. That one just off defender, it sounded like. Seems like that hurt. Now here's some speed. Getting down behind the net, Marcinkowski. Back for Sitar. Takes it. He stops up, beats one
You're off.
player. And they're offside.
You're off. Even if you have
I
control
saw
of it,
his
you can't be the
reactions,
first
like-
one across. The ball
Like,
has to go
really?
across no matter what.
But I think he was a good 3 or 4 steps ahead of the line.
What? Yeah. Like even if you have control and the body's across first, the ball still has to cross first no matter what. There you go.
Great insight by the officials there. Regardless, the ball has to enter the zone first, not a player. Even if you're the one controlling the ball. Meaning essentially you can't back into the zone. Clear up some confusion hopefully for those.
Play the ball!
players.
Play the ball! Play the ball!
More physicality. Bobby Jansky goes down in a heap. Literally behind the ref. No call. Oh no, it will be a call.
No, they
It's
are
going to be a
gonna
call
call.
against the Hornets. There's a Hornet player who got dumped, but I didn't exactly see what happened. Officials have to be careful to not let this game get out of hand. As you already noticed earlier, Scott Wargan and his energy isn't exactly going to calm things down. So 30 seconds to go in the period. And doing what they did last time on the delayed call, just kind of hanging onto it. Hornets want to get a touch here to trigger the penalty, but it's not happening. He jogs it back into his own end, and I think they're going to take this power play its full 1 minute in the third period. And yeah, that's what they're going to get. These last 5 tick down. Very light pressure from Bobby Jansky. And it sends some frustration on the Hornets bench, and I don't blame them.
Watch out! Watch out!
The Hornets, it seems like since the first period, I don't think that their head has been
Frederick.
there, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
They've been trying
27 for holding
to
a stick.
open up the lanes, but they just had nothing to work with. And by the way, the penalty was for holding the stick. And it just keeps getting worse for the Hornets. Now they got to start the third period on the penalty kill, on top of trying to come back from a 4-goal deficit.
Tim Sitar going to sit for a minute for this one as teams retire to their benches here for the second intermission. And yeah, this has really been all Southsiders, which again, on paper, shouldn't be surprising. But
I even heard him telling
I'm
Scott,
telling you,
"You
after
can't take
that
another
game
one. If he
against
takes a third
with the
one, he's
Stingrays, knowing that the Hornets took them down 6-1, I was really expecting a different Hornets team to show up. Of the 20 minutes that have been played, I feel like they've been competitive for maybe 5.
Is there just a condensation on the floor and everything or something, or what?
And of note, that's going to be Sitar's second penalty as
sorry,
well,
I didn't
so
swear, I
he
didn't mean
also
to.
risks ending the game early.
Scott Wargan also with 2 minors.
I mean, they're trying to keep it fierce, but they got to try to make it productive, and right now it's just not working out for them.
I think that's a great way of putting it. Is you want to make sure that you're being productive, and you can still play physical. You can still have an edge to your game,
that
but
felt great.
it needs to be in a certain direction.
Ow!
If it's just physicality for the sake of physicality, that's not very productive. They do manage to get a clear here early on the power play. First 15 seconds gone, but the Southsiders control. That one gets through. And Bittner hangs on.
we already mentioned Eddie Urban was announced for the nationals team, but he's not the only one. Danielle Strohmeyer is also part of the women's national team, so that's 2 national team players that the Southsiders have.
I'm telling you, they are looking like a Tier 1 team, but there's just no Tier 1 Chicago division. They are definitely showing some great skill up and down the entire lineup. Not sure what the delay there was, but...
Hey, I love you, brother.
Get ready to...
No, come on. You know I do.
Now we get the draw. And that one won by the Southsiders. Back to the point. Top of the circle. Backs off. Urban. Sends it across again. Makes a move, and then he backs off. There's a shot. Bittner save.
Ooh.
Rebound. Hangs on. They try to dig away at it. And Wade Bittner hangs on.
I want you to take a look at the slot and how they're battling for position. See, he's using his weight to try to prevent from being pushed and creating the screen out in front.
And that's a great example, Daniel, of that physicality with purpose and with productiveness. That was Tim Comparative fighting to keep that crease clear and make sure that his goalie can see the action. So great defensive work, great job using the body and staying within the bounds of the rules. Another big shot rings off the end boards. And that's it for the power play. Another shot, though. Almost added to it at the end. We're back to 5-on-5. First minute gone here in the third period. Southsiders with a commanding 5-1 lead. This one comes back to the point. Shot. 3 Hornets players trying to get it. Now they do, but can they get it out? No. Southsiders continue. On the backhand, an awkward one. Handcuffed his player. Walk that one across. Back door. Good job defensively to come in. But they've got it again. And they play catch and send it towards the net. That one blocked before it found its way to Bittner. Trying to get this one through. It goes deep. Urban's on it first. Sends it up.
Nope.
That one going to go for icing? No. They got to it first. Great opportunity. Good speed by the Southsiders. Showing why they are the class of this division. The Raiders might want to have an argument, but these guys are showing why they are as good as they are. That player goes down. No call there. Urban gloves it down. Walks in. He's got help. Takes the shot. That one goes wide. Now on the far side in front of the Hornets bench. Players battling for it. Spinning off their man. Now picked up by Sitar. Sends that one softly across. 7:20 left to go here. Third period. If the Hornets are going to get back into this one, they need to find answers, and they need to find them quickly. They get this one deep, but it goes for icing and frustration by Liam Paz. He scored the goal, the only one for his team.
And you know what? The Hornets had an option on the left wing. There was no one covering him, and it went unnoticed. This is pretty much telling me that the Hornets are not taking the time to look around, and when that happens, you get pressured by the Southsiders into forcing you to give up the ball.
Draw one by the Southsiders. They send it down. Quickly lose it at the bottom of the circle, and Hornets come back the other way. They get around one. Quickly get closed off, though, as 2 players come in. One lift the stick, and that's the end of that possession. Back into Hornets' end. They have it. Gets it down, but right onto the stick of a Southsider player. And now all alone, walking in. Takes the shot! That one held out by Bittner. Great opportunity. There's Jeremy Morgan. Here's some speed for the Hornets. That's Jansky.
You guys good?
That one out of his reach. We were talking about, Daniel, just so much space for the Southsiders. Another shot that goes wide. Picked up by the Hornets now at 5:15 of the third period. Sent this one across. Nobody there. I'm sorry, 6 minutes left to go here in the period. This one on the attack. Stopped up, cuts inside, just got away from him. Urban tried to close it off, but couldn't. Jansky goes down hard.
Play the puck! Play the puck!
He's calling for
Play
more
the puck!
physicality.
Thank you.
You see the official really trying to get these guys away from the rough stuff here. Here come with speed, Urban. Kicks right up the middle, wasn't ready for it. And another errant pass turned aside again. And Urban about a country mile offside.
Yeah, you see that physicality picking up as they're trying to enter the zone. A good push right there, and almost ends up being taken out himself. That was
Chris.
quite a
Chris.
push by Jeremy
Chris.
Morgan.
Chris, I got the line.
So we're going to have zone draw just outside of the Hornet zone. Southsiders again controlling. On this side, they gain the zone, pull up. Strohmeyer, back to the point. Sent around. Very comfortable, very easy passing between these players who clearly know each other and have for some time. Sent down. Morgan. Along the near side, or far side. Hornets have it. Streaking in. Quick one touch and it's off the stick and back the other way. And this has been the story of this game. Southsiders just outclassing the Hornets right now. .4:15 to go in the third period. And they can't get it out of the zone. Forced back in, trying to recover. Ferenga sends it up. Gets pushed in almost immediately. Two players collapse on him, and they have it. Bounce that one off the boards, just try to get a change. Send it into space for safety. Southsiders will do the same. 3:45 to go.
Off! Okay.
They can't get it in the zone, but not a whole lot of urgency from the Southsiders with their 4-goal lead. They don't really need it. Hornets just having trouble really putting anything together. They send this one back down behind the net, still stuck on 8 shots on goal. This one goes high and robbed again. Walking in, takes a shot, rebound, and Bittner hangs on. Good stop. Sent in deep, but nobody there, and easily collected and sent back out with 3 minutes to go. There you see shots 23-8, but goals 5-1. Southsiders on the strength of incredible performances from Eddie Urban and Scott Wargan. They're continuing to push. Gets that one through feet. Shakes off that check like it was nothing.
Off!
Ski offside, has to come back, and he does. Takes the shot, and that one swept off his stick. Jansky can't do anything with it. And Southsiders slow things back up and kick it back into their end. Feels like everybody's more or less done with this game. 2:15 ticking down near in the third period. The Southsiders have just been in control pretty much from the beginning.
Playing a little game of time kill here.
Sent it across. In the zone. Backs up. Gets through his man. Tries to get around another. With ease, Wargan makes it look easy. Got it again, takes the shot. That one goes wide. Swung at by Swiatek.
Good.
They hold the zone. Behind the net. Facing some pressure, but still just hanging on to the ball. This one across. Hornets can't get to it in time. The Southsiders on it again. Now walking in. Nice little pass through legs. Very smart. Spinorama shakes off his man. Matt Kandra. This one back to the point. Final minute of play. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Players ready for this to be over. Southsiders take it with ease. There's a big shove. Add more physicality.
Play the puck. Move the ball. Never said that so many times in one game.
Some frustration here.
I know. I'm just at this
Ref
point.
just
I
said,
just
I've
want
never had to say, move the ball so many times in one game. But the Southsiders pretty much just trying to run down the clock. I mean, it really just comes down to one bad period for the Hornets, which put this away.
Which is a shame, because I feel like they have what it takes, but they just were so demoralized, I think, that it just took all the wind out of their sails, and there just wasn't much left in the tank for them. Final 25 seconds tick down here, and on some level you appreciate the Southsiders not wanting to run up the score, because they've definitely got the talent to do it. Again, makes me think their first game against the Kings was a 2-1 affair, so could just be that you catch a team on a good day or a bad day and you get wildly different outcomes. Hornets now with speed on the right wing side. Trying to make something happen here. Just for pride. Sends that one across to Gleason. Big shot. And that would lose. Tobias had to look for it. Jamming away at it. Not respecting the whistle, and the Southsiders don't appreciate that.
Hey.
I'll break it.
We don't need everybody here. Don't need everybody here. Stop.
I'll fucking murder you.
I know. My bad.
It's been tense enough already. But I don't think anything will come out of this. I mean, the game's pretty much over,
Right here.
and no need to risk any
Watch out.
disciplinary hearings.
Hopefully not. We know the
Thank you,
league
sir.
cracks down on
10
extracurriculars
seconds, boys.
pretty
Come on.
hard.
Here we go.
Final 10 seconds to go here. The Southsiders remain undefeated. And the Hornets go to a 1-1 split. And that will just about do it for us here. The Chicago Southsiders celebrating Eddie Urban's naming to the U.S. men's national team.
Thank you. What's up,
Walks away with this one with a 5-1 victory. What are we thinking for MVPs, Daniel?
Before I get to that, look at the shot clock. 25-10 in favor of the Southsiders. They were just in firm control of this game. And I do feel like that this was just a bad day for the Hornets. It just took one bad period. And it they just could not recover from that. That being said, I have to give the MVP to Eddie Urban and Scott Morgan. It's always a dangerous pair to have on the floor. And they are just two you got to watch out for. There's a reason why Eddie Urban has been chosen for the national team. And this performance pretty much proves it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very well deserved. That was, it's rare to see players like that just completely put a team on their back, take a game completely into their hands, and just dominate. And that's what we saw. So then that gives us the 3 stars of the day. You've got Robbie Molinelli, you've got Billy Jacques, and then you've got Urban and Morgan. How are we ranking these guys?
Now, this is not going to be easy for 2 of these because these were good performances, but there was just some even better. Third star going with Robbie Molinelli, has 2 goals for the day. Can't complain over that. That's a very strong performance. But the simple fact is, there were just some better ones. Second star of the day is going to be Eddie Urban and Scott Worgan. Just a clinic in the first period. Just firm control. They never let go. And that leads to why the Southsiders are the ones to watch. But I cannot overlook the spectacular performance in net by Bill Jocks. He made some crucial stops, including a save of the year candidate at the buzzer in overtime of all times. You cannot make this stuff up. And I think, now I'm watching everyone there. I think that this is going to be number 1 on this week's top 10. I'm calling it right now.
Oh man, that's bold prediction. It's a big league, but that was a big save.
I don't know what else
literally,
it could be.
Yeah, no, literally save of the game, maybe save of the year. That was huge. Put that team on his back and weathered the storm against the Stingrays, and just forcibly through will gave the Raiders the win. Great call, Bill Jacques. What a legendary performance! 30+ saves and big ones too. So it's been an awesome day 1 of our triple header. We've got more action coming up for you tomorrow in New England, so stay tuned. Right here you can find us. Don't forget, you can find us on Ball Hockey by MVP on Roku. We've got YouTube channels. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. Check us out and watch us continue to go all season long. It's really exciting. New England action tomorrow, but for today, that's going to do it for Chicago. So for Anjanette Rieger, Joey Delgado, Justin Coet, Bernie Richards, Lindsay Maycheka, Daniel Wilson, I've been Chris Blair. So much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.